good, everybody? This is the Sunday Funday hangout. I'm just going to sit here and bag and board comics. No agenda. Let's hang out. Yeah. I am hanging out and hiding in the Comic Man Annie Comic Cave Comic Dojo this morning. I did a bunch of yard work yesterday and my allergies are killing me today. So I'm just going to chill out, sit back, grab some bags, grab some boards, and just fill these things up. Because if there's nothing I'm short on, and that's work, and that's comics. Let's see if anybody's interested in hanging out today as people filter in. What do we got here? Ooh, New Universe Spitfire, number 2. Oh, yeah. Because I'm going to make a mess, yeeting everything out of the way. Roy, what is good? How are you? I'm chilling down here in the Comic Cave, Comic Dojo, staying out of the weather. It's actually really nice outside today, but man, after all that yard work yesterday, my allergies are killing me. So I'm just going to chill here inside, see who's going to show up, hang out. Thanks for watching from Twitch, man. Very cool. It's always good to see some Twitch family chilling, hanging out. We're just going to bag and board today. Have a good time. Sometimes it's fun just not having an agenda and just sitting and hanging out, seeing who else is interested in hanging out, and chilling for the day. Spitfire number 3. We got a little bit of a run going here. As people filter in, if anybody's interested in hanging out, I will drop that link in the chat. What's up, Dank man? Good to see you. Listen while... Oh, very cool. Is that a typo? Deck? Bad joke. What's up, man? Hopefully you're having a great Sunday. Let's see what we got here. I am always chilling out and listening to great tunes. The trick is with YouTube and live streaming, there's lots of music you can't use because then you get into that copyright situation. Oh, boy. Uncle Ed is in the house. What's up? Good to see you, man. I am bored and boarding. Yes. We're just hanging out, man. Here, let me drop the link if anybody's interested in hanging out. No pressure, no agenda. I'm just going to bag and board. I am woefully behind on taking care of that collection that I picked up several months ago. This is going to be great stuff for the neighborhood kids and anybody that looking to fill some runs at some point. Oh, yeah. I am congested today. Holy moly. We went out, got all the yard work done yesterday morning while it was nice and cool outside. And man, boy, did I feel accomplished. Boy, did we feel accomplished, right? By the time we were done and we were hitting lunch, my eyes were watering. And boy, oh boy, my left eye still hasn't stopped watering yet. We are actually very close to finishing off this first bin. I'm excited to finish off this one. There's some very cool Star Wars stuff in here. And there's some Marvel team-up stuff that I didn't see in there before. Getting through what looks like a run of Spitfire here. Here's issue 5. We apparently don't have issue 4. Aw, thought I had a whole run going on there. Allergies are no joke. Absolutely, John. It never seemed to bug me as a kid, but I've been mowing my lawn ever since I was tall enough to do it. And now I mow my own lawn at my own house. And just so happens every time I get out there every week, it's... That pollen was killer. And then I noticed yesterday, the pollen didn't seem as bad, but whoa. My eyes were watering up a storm. Now we get into the heat of summer coming up. I'm excited for summer. Hopefully that humidity stays away, though. Yeah. What's everybody up to today? There's 8 people watching. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to keep it chill, keep a medium pace here to get through some of these books. Spitfire, number 6. And these are actually in really good shape with those black borders are kind of tough to keep from getting those creases in there and those spine ticks. These are in surprisingly good shape for the age. 1986. Spitfire. Isn't that what the old timers used to call us young whippersnappers? Yeah. Right? I don't get allergies, but I'm lactose intolerant. Would trade places just to enjoy pizza again. Don't they make cheeses that can help you out with that avenue? I mean, pizza, you can't live your life missing out on pizza. I mean, I get it. There are a lot of the shops and a lot of places don't really offer lactose intolerant options, but I feel like the tides are turning. I don't know where everybody else lives, but where I live, there's actually quite a few restaurants that do keto friendly, vegan friendly, vegetarian friendly, all sorts of great options. Station, what's up, Big Herm Collectibles? How are you, man? Good to see you. Discovery Bay Comics. Hope all is well. Hopefully the sun is shining down on you guys today. Out on the other side of the country. It's still probably a little early there yet. Ooh. Yep. Spitfire number 6 going in the box. We're going to keep plugging away. Absolutely. That link is right up in the chat if anybody wants to hang out. Just scroll up a little bit. If you're just showing up, I'll drop it here a little bit again. Or you guys can message me directly. Paul Dunn. Paul, how is it going for you, man? Paul might want to hang out. Let's see if I can get this to work again. Yes, nice and easy. Already saved. There you go. Spitfire, number 7. 1987 newsstand. These covers are pretty neat. Luke Johnson, Excelsior Comic People. Good to see you, man. This is the No Agenda Sunday Funday Baggin and Boardin hangout. Anybody got anything they want to talk about? Drop it in the chat. Drop a comment down below. Hit that thumbs up or hit the thumbs down. Either way, reactions are good, right? It's kind of nice. It's kind of cathartic getting these things in new bags and new boards. You know what I mean? Something about old bags and comic books when they get really wavy and crinkly and nasty, I think they just end up damaging the comic books overall. I mean, that backer board, if used correctly, still protects them. But those, I've seen front parts of the plastic bags actually sticking to comic books. I'm like, gotta save these things, you know? Could be a quarter book, could be a $25 book. Who knows? But I mean, still. Did I ever read Silver City? I did not. Paul Dunn's going in a little bit. Just got in, dropped out the family, eating, watching Loki. Yes. Oh, Loki. I was pleasantly surprised with Loki. What's up, Comic Book Therapy? How are you? Rye Smelts, man. How's it going, dude? Hopefully one of these days I'm just hanging out or you're just hanging out and we can, our schedule will coincide and we can hang out together again. It's been a hot minute. Work schedules are crazy. This is, that bounced right back at me. Spitfire number 8. This almost looks unread. This is nuts. 1987. A solid press on this thing would definitely have that like a 9.4 or better. Not that Spitfire is probably worth grading, but it's worse in the eye of the beholder, right? What's the best Punisher starting point for reading? Oh, man. That depends on what kind of era you grew up with comic books, because Punisher is one of those characters that not transcends, but there's so many different decades of Punisher and different artist teams of creators on the Punisher series. Like if you grew up in the 80s, Volume 2 is definitely where it's at, or the Volume 1 miniseries that's definitely a place to start. If you grew up in the 90s, you know what? Volume 2 is still your best place to start because Volume 2 ran through the 90s as well. If you grew up in the 2000s, there's some of the Marvel Knights stuff that you might enjoy, those art styles. The Frankencastle stuff in there, the Garth Ennis run of Punisher. It kind of depends on where you grew up and your experience with comic books. if you stick to a decade, because, art styles and writing styles flow with the decades, right? Like if you grew up in, let's just call it the 2000s, and you collect and read comic books, but you never read Punisher stuff, then if you gear your source yourself to look at Punisher stuff from that same era, it's probably going to be more enjoyable for you that way than just dipping into the 80s. You might not care for the artwork or the writing style in the 80s. So I'd say go with the era of comic books that you prefer, the writing and art styles. That way it'll be more enjoyable for you. The Garth Ennis stuff, it seems like everybody that is interested in Punisher and really enjoys the Garth Ennis stuff. Yes, what's the best? So at work, yep. Hopefully work's not too crazy for you, man. Dank says he only uses Silver Age bags and boards because I actually like the little gap. Feel it's a nice buffer. So Dank hits the nail on the head, like for me. Let me bring this up again really quick here. I also only use Silver Age bags and boards. Let me move my hand. Silver Age. There's a reason why I do that. The type of collector that I am, I can't stand having 20 of the same thing in different sizes. It gets chaotic trying to manage that stuff. Not being able to manage my collection situation causes me a vast amount of stress and anxiety. I keep it to one size. Therefore, if I get Silver Age books there, I can fit them all. I'm primarily only collecting modern age books, really. I dip into some Silver Age appearance, stuff like that. Silver, bronze, copper, whatever they're calling things right now, modern age. Modern age spans 40, 50. Modern age is massive, right? So if I just stick to Silver Age like Dank does, it makes it way easier for my managing my collection. And I like that little gap that Silver Age provides too for modern books. And I like to go with the polyethylene. You guys tell me, I don't know about pronunciation. I like the polyethylene bags. Why? I'm going to show you guys here. There's 14 of you guys watching. Tricky Trapster, Don, House of L Comics, good to see you. So I go with polyethylene. Yeah, they're not as clear. Yeah, they're not as nice, but there's one or two, several reasons. Here, I'm going to demonstrate. Watch this. Look at the stretch before it breaks through. As weird and odd as this might look. Demonstrate again. The bag stretches quite a bit before it breaks through. What does that mean? Well, when I ship out books, if for some reason my packaging fails when it ships books and that comic shifts in here, the bag is going to stretch and give and hopefully prevent a giant corner ding. You know what I mean? It hopefully prevents the comic book from being so damaged that it's not fixable. And, that little bit of give, that little bit of stretch can save me from ruining a multi-$100 key sending out to a friend or a buddy. I want there to be that little bit of extra give in the bag so that the corners aren't completely ram-jammed and crunched. Now, I love the look of Mylars. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to put some of my bigger books in Mylars when I get to that stage. But anything that I ship out, anything that I pack into my short boxes, that I'm going to be flipping through and moving and going up and down or doing anything like that, I want those polyethylene bags and I want that little bit of give and a little bit of stretch. Sometimes that's what saves a book for me from being completely crunched on a corner or getting that corner, that kind of corner roll that's really hard to fix. Don likes the resealable bags. I don't dislike them. I don't prefer to buy them just because I do a lot of book reading, open, close, open, close, open, close. And then that bag eventually becomes unresealable after a certain period of time. And then you just got to throw tape over that at some point. So we got Spitfire number 9. Digging that cover. Digging that cover. Nick, Comic Culture. Let me hit up these these comments again really quick. Oh, yeah. 80s to 80s, man. Punisher Max was crazy, Luke says. Welcome back, Frank. First Enos run. Yep. These days, worth is in the eye of eBay, eye of the beholder, the eye of the seller, the eye of the buyer. Yes, worth fluctuates drastically. Legion is right. Depends entirely on what's going on with the market. Yep, 80s kids, so 80s it is. I would try the volume 2 of Punisher and grab those first 10 issues before the prices. Let me rephrase that. Buy what you love and you'll love what you'll buy. Buy reader grade copies first, or get a trade, or look for it digitally or something like that. It seems like those first 10 issues of that Volume 2 Punisher run are catching some heat, catching a little bit more value. And issue 10 is that Daredevil Punisher cover, which is amazing. Volume 1 is, I saw somebody selling a 9.8 newsstand of Volume 1, number 1, Volume 2, number 1, sorry, like $700. $700? I was paying like $50, $60 for those 9.8s not long ago. It's nuts. It's crazy. Look for reader grade copies. I think that first 10 is a little bit harder to digest. I feel like they were finding their flow, but there's some great points in there. And then when you get into issues, you get in through 10 through 25 can be a little bit, 25 through, I think 60, I think was probably my favorite chunk of that run. Let me move on and continue here. I agree. A little more room. Same bag board combos are too snug. Yeah, the actual modern bags and boards, I think, is where a lot of people end up getting damaged books, because the modern bags and boards, there is no room for error there. No room for error in your shipping process, your shipping method. In all honesty, without that little bit of give around those, if something slips or something fails in your packaging method when you ship books out, then those are going right for that impact area, and there's no room for them to be, there's just no room for them. Like I said, it's, yeah. If the comic is oversized, it also works. Yes. Like my silver bags, the TMNT Last Ronin copies actually fit in the silver bags with no board. And then I keep those pressed snug tightly in a folio box. It's still a little tight. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's just what I'm getting away with for the moment. Don Davis, good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Tricky Trapster, thanks for being here. Ricky Markstadt, good to see you, man. Paul says, same stuff I use. I go and I buy those things in droves at my LCS and support them. I could probably, order $300 or $400 worth and be set up for a year online somewhere, but I cannot stand dented or crunched boards from shipping. Ugh, I can't. I hate it. And I've ordered boards and had them shipped before, and when one corner of that pack of boards gets crunched a little bit, then all of them, and I'm like, I'm not a fan of that. The resealable bags, yes. Holy chat jump. Wish Mylar bags weren't so expensive. So I guess Mylites are a little bit more of an affordable option. Comic Vantage is also has something on their website that I hear a lot of people talking about that they've had good success with. Pages, Films, and Plastics. Hey, good to see you. How many rows of comic books fit in that plastic tub behind you? Actually, about 3 full rows. Each tub equates to about 3 short boxes. These tubs I don't recommend using. That's how they came in the collection I bought. There's not a lot of protection keeping these things from sliding around. It's just, and plus these things are aged out and they're very brittle and falling apart. They're just in there until I can get them rebagged and reboarded. It's just the easiest way I can keep this collection separated until I get it all mixed in. See, I started with those, but I think I prefer taping now. Hey, Mom, how are you? I will call you later today. Hopefully you guys are having fun out in this great weather. Comic Pro line bags and boards are solid. I've heard good things. Yes. Is that the one I'm using right now? Yes, Comic Care. Or no, these are Comic Care. She's talking about Comic Pro line. There's so many different bags and boards. Hell yeah, they look great in Mylar. They absolutely do. How's it going, man? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Roscoe. Did Roscoe pop in? Hey, man, what's going on? Good to see you. I'll continue to get through this chat, and we'll continue answering questions and comments and recommendations as we hang out here. Nick, if I didn't say hi, man, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Sundays are always a little sad because work is coming soon, but the day before it's a Saturday. Oh, you got me good there. Oh boy, hate that they're not clear, but you have a great point. Yeah, but once I get a book in here, it's a little bit, it's hard to notice really, unless you actually hold it up side by side with something else. Yeah, they're not as clear, but when you think about it, I'd say about 90 to 95% of my collection sits in boxes anyways, and I don't look at them regularly. It's just the super PC stuff that I look at regularly, and those are the things that I want to upgrade to Mylar. Dogs can't operate an MRI machine, but CAT scan. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Is it that opposable phone? No, never mind. Some people admit they're bad at... Oh, man. John's killing me here. Absolutely. You are very welcome. Yes. Got him. Yep. So Spitfire, number 9. I think I just showed that cover a little bit ago. But yeah, there's so many different avenues of bags and boards that you can go. Anybody can go in. It's all about preference. I know when it comes to how I manage my collection, as far as storage, as far as shipping, as far as everything that I do, the Silver Age polyethylene bags, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, polyethylene, has that give that I want when I'm going through the collection so that those corners don't get dinged at all. And the corresponding boards are great. And remember, for those of you guys that are wondering, shiny side goes towards the back of the comic book, shiny side out as you're looking at it. The matte side does not have that protection. That's where if you put the matte side against the back of the comic book, it'll suck the ink or it'll cause ink rubs on there. So shiny side out. Let's hashtag that. Shiny side out. Do you know the first appearance of Flatline? I do not. I do not know. Hopefully it's not at the hospital on the machine. Yeeteth that old stuff there. Codename Spitfire. So they went from Spitfire to Codename Spitfire. Issue 10. I'm amazed at how good a shape these books are. These probably haven't even been read much. We're in 1987 with these. And I know you're an indie fan or indie guy, but do you read... Yes, I did read We Live. I really liked We Live, and I'm looking forward to collecting and reading that in trade format. I did take my original issues, and I let go of those on the Skeff auction a couple of weeks or a month or so ago, just because it's like I'm trying to make more room for comic books, or I'm trying to... I got 40 short boxes back over here. I'm probably only going to keep half of that over time. So I'm a big fan of, now I'm a big fan of putting groups of books together, runs, lots, 4-book lots, stuff that's easy and inexpensive to ship, and sending those off to other people that haven't had a chance to read them, can't find them, or really want those for their PC. We Live was really good. I think did it win an award, or did you get nominated for an Eisner or something like that? Yeet. So that has great potential. I think it'd make a really good show. Spitfire, number 11. We are on the code name run. Ricky, would it be Robin 1? Huh. Do you know the first appearance of Flatline? Robin number 1, maybe? Is that what he's saying? Yeah. So, Roscoe, yeah, We Live was really good. I was not able to get that foil variant for issue 5. There is warning, there is a foil variant, a gold foil variant for number 5.
I love gold.
And I missed out on that. I am sorely disappointed I missed out on that, and that's one of the other reasons why that was very limited. I missed it, and that's another reason why I decided to let go of that run, and I'll just read it in trade. Because once you miss out on an exclusive like that, and I don't even know where the price of that is. Spitfire number 12. Very cool missile action going on that cover. It's kind of like when you're collecting all covers, all copies of a book that's being printed. And then if you miss out on one, there'll always be that hole. And it's like, I'm already chasing 50 other things. I hate to add more things to my chase board, so to speak. First cameo was in Detective, Dank says, for Flatline, it sounds like. Oh, it was nominated. Okay, thanks, guys. That was so We Live was nominated for an Eisner. Very cool. We'll see how that turns out. Very interested on... Has anybody heard, is We Live going to be completely ongoing, or is that... Was it 12 issue? I can't quite remember. Oh, my nose is starting to itch again from allergies. And running out of tape already. I should have added tape to the grocery list. The Comic Blend. That sounds really familiar. First time I've seen Andy disinterested in dad jokes. No, man, it's just my allergies. That's, like I said, that's why I'm in here hanging out. No agenda. Sunday, Funday hangout. Those allergies hit me hard yesterday. I was laying in bed last night and my eyes were just watering. I was like, oh. Finally felt a little bit better when I woke up this morning, but now it's like my eyes are still watering a bit. Missed the train on We Live. So did most of the kids. Too soon? Ouch. That's a fun joke, a fun stabby joke for anybody that got to read We Live. But yeah. So this is one word of advice that if you guys choose to take it, do so or do not. But if like Geek Out with Roscoe missed the We Live train, so to speak. Don't fret. Make sure that add alerts to add eBay alerts. You don't have to buy on eBay. Just add alerts to make sure you're following market trends. We Live is on a high note right now as far as the Eisner nomination, the hype, everything that's been going on behind that book and how good it's been. Give it some time and look for that downward trend. And then you just have to flirt with how low are you going to let it go before you decide to pick up a set or a run. It seems like package deals for issues 1 through 5 can be found on eBay, but they're on a high note right now. So that's the one thing I like to try to share with a lot of people when talking about comic books is just keep an eye on trends. I mean, a lot of modern indies and a lot of modern books right now, definitely, they still have these trends. Look at Punchline. Maybe not Punchline. Was it Punchline? Batman 89? Look at Naomi. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of the older Golden Age, Silver Age, key appearances, first appearances, really important books that are really special to people, that are books that are really identifiable, that kind of buck that trend, so to speak, where look at ASM 129. ASM 129 doesn't really have sharp trends. It's got some trends, but they're not as sharp as what we see in a lot of the modern books. So never fear. Look for those trends with modern books so that you're not paying double or triple what you could if you wait it out a little bit. And while you're waiting, grab that trade. If it's something you really want that you don't want to wait on reading. And probably one more there. Oh boy, there is a one-shot of Free Comic Book Day, then season 2 on the way, limited run as well. Oh, for We Live? Okay. Been pushing We Live since the start. You know, I didn't really push it, but when I saw it and I was listening to a lot of other people, I did decide to grab it. I didn't grab it at first. Glad I did, but I didn't grab the extra printings of issue 1. Kind of wish I would have. And then that also means I missed out on something else. But I ended up adding it to the pull list. And then you got issue 4 and issue 5 hit, and apparently those are really lowly printed or lightly printed or whatever vernacular the English language escapes me at the moment. You know what I mean? That seemed to be the book that a lot of people were asking about when we were putting stuff up on Skeff's auctions. They were asking for issues 4 and issue 5. Oh, hey, and that's it for the Spitfire stuff right now. We are moving into some Star Wars back issue bin goodness, the rite of passage here. How long am I going to be on for today? I don't know. I'm just going to keep going until either my allergies bug me too much, like my nose is itching right now, or I get too hungry and I need to go get some lunch. It's noon now. I'll probably go for at least another hour, if not more. It's already been a half an hour. Wow. I'll probably go for another hour or two. See who filters in and out. Once again, actually, it's been a hot minute. Here's that link if anyone wants to join and hang out. I would really like to get through the last of this bin so I can throw that bin in the recycling bin. Binception? Recycling bin inception? Ooh. Yes. Very cool. I'm going to probably continue to chase these runs of the older Dark Horse books. The keys are nuts, but at least the non-key issues, the backfiller, I'm still finding in dollar bins. Ricky, what is good, man? Good afternoon. How are you?
Doing good.
Ooh, last piece of tape. Almost last piece of tape. How's the weather out where you're at, man?
Hot.
Yes, hot. Hot it is. Today finally cooled off a little bit comparatively to the last 4, 5, 6 days.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The boss says it's hot now. It's not super humid, but it's hot. Oh, yeah, I haven't been outside in a couple hours. Went out, threw the garbage out earlier, and I was like, yeah, that's about enough of this already. So, Paul, you need more third print of in issue 2 of We Live? Okay. This might be a minor key for Star Wars. I can't remember. The cover looks familiar. That might be a minor. Not bad for dollar bin pickup. You pick up anything new, Ricky?
A couple of days ago I did.
Very cool.
I got
Vincent, are you at work, man?
Me?
Is Vincent at work right now? Probably why he was asking.
Who's Vincent?
Vincent McLean, the comic machine, in the chat.
Oh.
He was asking how long I'm going to be going for. I'd say a minimum another hour, if not way more. Ooh, Star Wars Darkness, 4 of 4. These Star Wars Dark Horse covers are killer. Yo, yeah, comic book therapy, you are right. Need to fix those allergies with some lager or ale. Maybe later today.
I got this yesterday.
Ooh, very cool. Legion says, who's Vincent? Vincent McLean, the comic machine, in the chat here, was asking how long we're going for. Like I said, probably a minimum of another hour, if not 2, maybe even 3. We'll see. Depends on if I get hungry here soon, too.
I got the Power Ring variant of Crime Syndicate 4.
Nice. Yeah, I think I can make it through this bin, maybe into the second bin. That would be a huge win for me organizationally. Being able to get through that would be awesome. What do we got next? Star Wars Infinity's End, 4 of 4. Oh boy. Man, some of these bags are just shot. I actually have to reload on bags and boards here soon at some point. Injustice Society covers. Yeah, those are pretty slick.
Flatlining is right here in the screen.
Okay.
That Detective Comics 1034.
Be a solid cameo then, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, that background's kind of killing my eyes. I don't know about you guys. A little better. Anybody else still able to find some decent chunks of Star Wars stuff out digging through bins?
Yeah, I got Star Wars the other day.
I'm not finding a ton, but what I am finding for $1 is in pretty good shape. And they're
That's
all
cool.
non-key. They're not keys or anything like that, but I mean, definitely great run filler. I mean, throw $4 together, easily fits in a mailer with great packaging and, flat rate priority shipping, like $7. It's not bad. Especially when you consider the time and gas money of actually running around and hunting. It's kind of a nice convenience to do that, which is making me think, anybody here digging Whatnot yet? Anybody hanging out on or checking out that Whatnot app for selling Funkos and cards, and now comic books is a growing section on Whatnot? I really have been watching some of those auctions, and those are fast, furious, and fun. Ooh, yeah, the Afro Pride cover.
Yeah, I got it the other day.
Very nice. I think that'd look good in a slab.
Yeah.
I think Whatnot is going to be one very cool rabbit hole to go down. Yep, I got that whole run of variants the other day. That was those are great pickups.
Cool.
The convenience of Whatnot is kind of fun. I actually try to spend less time on my phone and mobile devices, but those auctions are fast. They're furious. A lot of them, a bulk of them, start at like $1. So that's actually pretty cool. And I was watching one auction yesterday evening. Guy was going through some modern books. He had cover A and cover B of Nice House on the Lake, and boy, did a fight break out for that. And those two copies sold for $40 or $41. Cover A and cover B. So that was pretty fun. Take a mix, take the best parts of eBay. I kind of cringe while I say that. Take the best parts of YouTube live auctions, and then take the best parts of Instagram, selling books on Instagram, mix them all together and shake it all up. And what do you have? You have Whatnot. And I'm actually having so much fun with that. I think I'm probably going to go ahead and throw dollar books up on Whatnot at some point in the next week or two here. If I get approved for live streaming sales on there and get that old rhythm down and get that set up, I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think that's a great way to take a lot of the bulk stuff that I don't want and offer it up for essentially dollar bin prices or better, and let people open them up to other people that are really interested. I've got a full run of Batman stuff out of the early 90s that I'm just not going to read, that a buddy gave me, that he's like, oh yeah, see if anybody else wants these things. And I'm like, that's great dollar bin fodder right there. But I'll never run a dollar bin set up at a garage sale or a flea market or anything like that. Infinity's End, 2 of 4. Very cool. Stout man, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Ordered Eve 1 and 2. Can't wait to get it. Okay, Eve 1 and 2, I really enjoyed. Those were fun. Yeah, Paul and Geek. Holy crap is right. You get 30 people in a Whatnot auction. Even if 20 of those people are just watching and hanging out, you got 10 bidders and they find something that they're looking for. It's fun. The seller can set it up in a way to alleviate or remove the sniping aspect of auctions, so that every time a bid is placed, it adds 10 seconds to the timer, if I'm remembering that correctly, which is kind of neat. So you don't have to sit around and wait a whole nother minute while it resets. It just adds 10 seconds. So the bidders have to make up their mind. Is that what they want to do? Are they going to let it go? Are they going to run with it? I really like that aspect. I like the aspect that the sellers can preload all of their lots. So if you've looked at the Whatnot not desktop, but the Whatnot screen when you're on there and you're looking at a live auction, that tag at the bottom right, you click on that. They have all of their auctions preloaded in the order that they're planning on presenting them. And then they also have buy it now stuff listed in there too. And that is actually really cool. It sounds like a lot of work on the front end for the person running the auction. But once that's done, you can get to see a lot more books in a shorter period of time, and it's a lot more fast and furious and a lot more fun from what I'm seeing. And you got the community aspect where you can sit and chat and hang out as well. So the actual bidding side of things is removed from the chat and run at the bottom of the screen, and then the chat can roll on with people hanging out, which is very cool. I think that is absolutely awesome. Yes, yeah, it was $40 for just A and just B, which is kind of shocking. Take mine, Paul says. Glad I grabbed the 1 in 20. Is the 1 in 25 the one where the lady's swimming in the pool? I missed out on that. That's the cover that was really cool out of that, and I think those are really expensive. People are spending on Whatnot for sure. I think Whatnot brings a lot larger portion of buyers into the collectibles market because of the convenience from the mobile devices and the safety protections and aspects of from the buyers and seller standpoint, and the shipping convenience from sellers, where you got everything set up You got your weights recorded, your shipping method set up, and then all you have to do is go to your dashboard and I think just print all of the shipping labels. And so it sounds super convenient. Oh, my nose is itching now. People are spending on whatnot. Yep. And grabbed the full run of Samurai Jack from Boom last night. I was wrong. I meant it was an IDW. Okay. Mishu Seaman, good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. We missed a good one earlier. Let's see if it's still preloaded in here, if we lost it. Oh, let me get there. Sundays are always a little sad because work is coming soon, but the day before is a Saturday. Priceless one from John. Absolutely priceless. There's that. That's the cover A, right? Oh, the guy walking next to a symbol. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Hope y'all are ready for me on the next auction. Yes, I'm looking forward to that next auction. We're just 2 weeks away from the next Skeff auction. That is going to be fun. That is going to be a good time. Slim Comics and more. Thanks for being here. Good to see you, man. Hopefully you're having a great Sunday. Like I said, hiding down here in the Comic Man Andy Comic Cave Comic Dojo, staying away from those allergies outside because we did our yard work yesterday and my eyes have been watering. My nose has been itching since then. Yes. Yeah, I definitely had my fair share of coffee this morning. I'm trying to cut back on coffee. Still had like half a pot already this morning. I'm a little wired. Oh, I did. Didn't I? Remember, shiny side down. Shiny side up. What am I saying? Shiny side of the board to the back of the comic. This is kind of fun. Ricky, what do you think, man?
What?
Baggin and Boardin.
I like the protection of the comics to keep the comics secure and see.
And this is Twilight 4 of 4 for Star Wars. Great add to the run. The tough part, anybody here's been buying Star Wars, the older Dark Horse Star Wars books, is I can't figure out what's where, when, or why with all of the different, like, they've got the legacy numbering on there, then they've got like the mini series numbering, and it's just that chunk of Star Wars history with Dark Horse in the boy, it's tough to figure out sometimes. Legacy number 1, very nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's my second one.
Oh, cool. Is that just the second printing with the color swipe?
Yeah, it's a color swipe.
A swap, I mean. Very cool. I didn't know that had a second print. Very nice.
Yeah. I don't know how valuable it is.
What? Is 50 for a Saga 1/3 print Nearman a good price? Personally, I think so with the rise that Saga's been seeing. You know what I mean? The Saga's been seeing a rise. The rarest one is the 4th print, if I remember right. Check out eBay. There's been more and more Saga issues hitting of the later printings. And 2 and 3, I think, are a bit cheaper. So is that $50 online at a store, or is it $50 from a friend? See if you can get it for 40. See if you can get it for 35. At 50, I would very seriously consider it, and I would check out, how many graded copies are out there. I would actually first see if I can get a graded 9.8 for not much more than that. I don't remember what the pricing is right now, but I would take a very serious look into that. See if I can get it for a little bit cheaper, or see if you can bump up and get an already graded 9.8 for not much more than that. I know those extra printings have been starting to catch some heat, and I think I saw a 4th printing pushing over 500. Asking price. Not sold listings. Actually, you know what? Comic Book Therapy, let me hit up GPA really quick here. Give me a minute to dive down this rabbit hole with you. And let's take a look at Saga sold list, actual sold prices really quick. Number 1, 3rd print. Be fun if I could find some non-copyright music to play during these two. So, scrolling. Third print 9.8, last sold for 174. So there's a few different ways of looking at this, right? There's 2 live listings on GPA says there's 2 live listings online. Let's look at one. Here's mycomicshop.com has a copy available. If you check out their website, their eBay listing shows an asking or a buy it now of $345, which seems really high. And what is this other one? This other one is loading. Yep. It's so mycomicshop.com has it for $299 $299 in a 9.8 available right now. So those are the 2 live listings that GPA shows. But the last actual sold, there was only 3 issues or 3 copies sold this year so far. 179, 200, and 174. So if you get your peepers, get your eyeballs on that copy, it's close to you and you can see it. And the thing is a no-brainer 9.8. If it looks like a no-brainer 9.8, I would buy it for 50, but I would make an offer of 40 first. Because if you think about it, let's say you got it for 50. It's gonna run you $12 to $20 to clean and press it, so let's call that $70. Then it's gonna run you, let's call it another $20 to grade it, so there's $90. And then you factor in the shipping to and from for cleaning, pressing, all that other stuff going into grading. Let's call it a $110 investment, and sales are currently hovering just under 200. The last 3 sales were 179, 200, and 174. So you've got equity in that book if it's a guaranteed, if it's a slam dunk 9.8. There's no guarantees in grading ever, but you've got a solid shot at equity in that book if it looks like it's a slam dunk 9.8 candidate for you. If it comes back a 9.6, you know how people feel about moderns and 9.6s and whatnot. I have no shame about buying a modern 9.6 because I feel like they're undervalued a lot of times on low print run stuff. Saga #1 third print is going to be a low print run book. If you guys want to do a deep dive on Saga one of these days, we can definitely do that. I definitely would love to do a deep dive on Saga. Is this going to turn into a deep dive on Saga? Either way, the last sold 9.6 for that comic book therapy was $73 in 2020. So it would take some time to dig and find out what asking prices are because they could be all over the place. But if you get your peepers on that and that book looks like it's a solid contender for a 9.8, 50 is not unreasonable. If you have questions, like those white covers pick up dirt really easily. Check the staple area on the front and on the back. That'll be your first sign of dirt and wear. That's the most raised up part of the book. And check that spine really good. If you see any signs of dirt, and it's looking like it's going to be probably a 9.6 and like it won't lift up and it's probably not going to clean out, offer $30 to $40. I think that book is, if it's really in. So let's also talk about near mint. I want to do a little bit more on this with comic book therapy while you guys are hanging out. Let's talk a little bit more about what it means for a book to be near mint. It means it could be a 9.4. If you grab the Overstreet price guide, the Overstreet guide to grading comic books says near mint is 9.4. Near mint minus 9.2, 9.0. For a book to be a slam dunk 9.8, it's got to be listed as a near mint plus if I remember right. Or is it near mint plus? You guys in the chat watching, correct me if I'm wrong. But to say that a book is near mint, that is cool. But that likely could be a 9.4. In all honesty. So it's like if I'm selling a book on Skeff's auction and I say, hey, this book is a near mint candidate, that means I'm looking for it to be a 9.4 or better after a clean and press. Because you never know what could happen with cleaning and pressing. It could do a lot better, or it could just kind of average out and not really gain you a whole lot. I will clean and press everything. I'm going to say this again. I will have every book that I send out for grading cleaned and pressed. Because I feel like if I don't do it, that one time that I don't do it, and I get a 9.6 and I leave $400 on the table, you know what I mean? I'm that kind of guy that'll chase 9.8s though. That's just me. It's expensive now, but we'll go nuts. Saga has started creeping up. It's kind of a little bit late to the party when following the trends of the market right now. Seawater 19, thanks for popping in, man. Good to see you. Here is that link again in just a moment. Ricky is actually dropping the link for the Discord as well. I will share that for the Comic Core. There's the StreamYard link if anybody else wants to come in and hang out. But yeah, I think one of these days we're just going to do a bagging and boarding, not even really bagging and boarding. I'm just do a Saga deep dive. So everybody that's listening or watching this in the rewind, if you guys would like to see a deep dive into Saga utilizing the resources that I found online, please message me or comment down below here and vote. Like, yes, Saga deep dive. Let's do this. Oh, 1 second here. You have a guy for cleaning and pressing. There are several people that I've used and had great success with. Jimmy the Geek Aficionado. Check out his YouTube channel, The Geek Aficionado. Jimmy does a fantastic, meticulous job of pressing and cleaning books. In my channel video section down below, look for it's actually the #1 most viewed. It's the most viewed video on my channel is the unboxing of the Mexican variants for Saga that I got back. Jimmy cleaned and pressed those books and did a fantastic job and got the poly bag creases out of those, and they all came back 9.8. So that was fantastic. If you want to check out that unboxing, it's not super long, I don't think. Jimmy the Geek Aficionado does a fantastic job. He's done a really, really good job. In fact, Jimmy is CPRing crack, press, and resubmit. CPR, crack, press, resubmit. Jimmy's CPRing all of my copies of Star Wars 42 right now. I had sent him several copies that we both felt had really good chances of getting grade bumps. And one of those has a potential to reach 9.8. So he's doing those actually for me right now. And I know the CGC turn times aren't great. I'm hoping that those books are back around the time the Book of Boba Fett comes out, that show. That'd be a fun unboxing to do theme-wise as far as unboxing those books back from CGC while the show's on or right before the show's on. That would be really cool. Paul says yes to Saga. I will make plans. Comment down below if there's anybody else in the chat that would be interested in being a part of or hanging out or doing a deep dive on collecting Saga series, the issue 1 and beyond. Because I've almost finished my completion, or I've almost completed my collecting of issue 1s, I'm going to start moving on to the other books, issues 2 through 10 to start. I know Skeph's Comic Knowledge has a few out for grading that he's considering selling to me. I hope, fingers crossed, Uncle Skeph is still interested in talking about those. Mark says deep dive D's nuts. Maybe later. Suck69, how are you? Thanks for watching in from Twitch and the Twitch family over there. You like comics? I like comics as well. Absolutely. This entire channel and all these live streams are comic focused and comic centric. This is the Sunday live hangout, no agenda, Baggin and Boardin. Feel free to pop over to YouTube. The links are available on my channel. Probably no links down in this one. I just clicked go live, but consider subscribing and consider hitting that notification bell and hanging out for some comic book content. Enjoy this comic collecting journey as we hang out. Yes, Paul, excellent. A Saga deep dive is probably overdue. It's something it's why I want to share my opinion on why I think Saga is the next blue chip modern book. The blue chip modern book to collect, in my opinion. Just bought all the trades. Very cool. Very cool. I do not. Fill us in on that. But we're still moving along on some bagging and boarding here as we hit up this chat. So thanks for that question, Comic Book Therapy. That's a nice little rabbit hole to get down into. That $50 Saga book, I'd take a good look at that. I really would. I really, really would. Saga has clearly been a blue chip. So this has been my opinion for a long time, that I believe Saga is a blue chip modern to collect, but it kind of lags behind the market. But if you look at the data and you look at the trend that it has, it's just been this slow build. It's just been this ever so slight slow build, and it's getting there. Saga does a fantastic job of tackling, not just tackling, but steamrolling some very, how shall I say, modern challenges we face as a species, as a human species, and as a society. And I think BKV does a fantastic job of seeing what a family does to not negotiate, but navigate through life with some of these things and many other people and other family dynamics. And it's just a fantastic read that the people that know and are passionate about it, and the people that don't know, once they do get into it, there's not a lot of people that have told me that said it wasn't their thing, and that's okay. The comic books aren't supposed to be everybody's thing. Oops. We got Dark Force Rising, 5 of 6. It's just finally rebagged, reboarded, and hitting the bin in really good shape, actually. So definitely want to hit up and do a deep dive on Saga and why I feel like it's a blue chip modern book to collect. Yeah, I've got one of the hardcovers. I've got 2 more of the hardcovers to pick up, and that'll complete a portion of my yearly goals for the collection. Later, man. Thanks for stopping in. Christian Ward may be interested in one-to-one art prints. Oh, Ricky popped out for a bit. He opened his store for a few more days. I can send the link if anybody needs it. Very cool. New Saga was blue chip when I realized so many people that don't read comics regularly. Yes, absolutely. There are YouTube channels out there where people showcase their Saga collections of Pops, Funko Pops, you name it. The trinkets or the tchotchkes, a lot of the other really cool stuff for Saga. There's some ultra rare Saga collectible stuff out there that's extremely rare that you never see. There's like a run of t-shirts that were extremely limited from the very beginning. There's sign prints. Like Fiona, if I remember correctly, you guys help me out here. Fiona's mostly a digital artist. So you don't see a lot of Fiona original artwork out there. So if you find original artwork from Fiona and it's in your price range and you're a Saga fan, you're probably going to want to pick that up because you probably won't ever see it again. Like that specific piece. Ricky says, later, guys, got to go. Thanks for stopping in, man. My wife and I have been reading Saga on trade, an amazing read. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Because CBSI, Comic Book Speculation and Investing, that website, and those guys have and I'm dropping bags already. They have a section. If you search their website for Saga, there's a full load of information there on the print runs and the diamond retailer incentive and a lot of the other stuff and what their opinions are and what they felt like the book could do or where it could go. And that bag is long gone. What other Saga keys do you recommend besides issue 1? Okay, so like I said, CBSI, that article, there's a list of first appearances on there somewhere, I think. Check that out. I am woefully behind on my Saga rereading. I've read it like 3 or 4 times, but I want to read it again. So the specific issues that are keys are escape me in the moment, but the first 10 issues, you're safe grabbing the first 10 issues. Those are where a lot of your keys reside there. I think 7 and 8 are keys. 3, 2. Yeah. I think 75 or 80% of issues 1 through 10. Well, of course, issues 2 through 10. I think the bulk of those are keys appearances. So that's what I'm after next. Are going to be 9/8 copies of those. Those have actually, I'm really sad that I did get more of those soon because those prices have actually been rising as well. I grabbed a 9.8 of issue 7 6 or 7 months ago for like $35, $38 off of eBay. I'm like, all right, great. Now when I'm going to looking back at those 9/8s, they're all well over $100, approaching $200 in some cases, depending on who's selling them. Yes. Oh man. Even though I'm not outdoors, my allergies are still kicking me. Saga these nuts, yes. Mark's just dropped. You're going with the low-hanging fruit, man. You got to work at it. When a trailer drops, Saga will go to the moon. So, for the longest time ever, BKV has stated he would not allow a adaptation, movie or show of Saga. In the last few years, I think he's softened up his stance on that and said that he wouldn't oppose it. But I think his actual, I'm paraphrasing heavily, but he alluded to that he would not play a role in the adaptation of Saga, which, the actual writer himself not wanting to play a role in the adaptation means that there could be a vast difference in storytelling style when it goes to the screen. So that would make me be very concerned, actually. Either way, I mean, everybody that reads sagas would still probably enjoy it to some degree, but as a holy shit, this thing is perfect. Let me get into this in just a second here. I'd be a little concerned, you know, maybe he'll change his mind, but the way technology is going, I don't think they're there yet. I don't think they're there yet, being able to do a saga adaptation on screen and doing it well. Yeah, look at you can do Star Wars, but look at the budget that it takes to do that. You know what I mean? Comics Vault Live may have more stuff on the 25th. Yes, I did say something in the clutch on that last Comics Vault Live. And I'm like, hey man, you got any saga stuff hiding back in there? He's like, oh, I might for the next one. I'm like, dude, yeah, like, ooh, I'm starting to get hungry. It is almost lunchtime. Star Wars, Dark Force Rising, 4 of 6. This thing is in primo shape. Not likely to be a key. I found it in a dollar bin, but this is a very gorgeous, gorgeous cover. Love the greens in that. Super clean copy. I know I missed those figures. Yeah, I actually received right there. I have a full set of those figures. Daymare's found a ton of them on sale. And Daymare's sent me a full set. Actually, what was very, very cool of him, that AOK was epic. I'd like to display those somewhere at some point here soon. Oh, hey, yeah, you're not wrong there, man. Dank, you're not wrong there, dude. Fiona NFTing her work. Would at least make sure to go get the last issue of Saga for those chasing the other keys just based on the yeah. No spoilers. The last issue of Saga is also a key. So grab that one if you haven't read it. Don't read it first. Read the whole series. Don't spoil it. The fandom ensures creators are somewhat faithful. Yes, I would agree with that. But the fact that even if BKV's loosened up on his stance a little bit, I don't know that anybody's going to want to pick up that ball and run with it unless he's going to be a part of that. So there's that to think about too. Watchmen series is not too shabby without Alan Moore. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Yep, but like I said, those figures, I do have that full setup there. Daymares is a really good dude. JP's Budget Collecting. Hey, look, it's Andy. Thank you, JP, for your look back show yesterday. Very cool stuff. I didn't get a chance to comment yet. Your look back episodes are, always primo. And I love using JP's look back channel, or JP's channel with his look back episodes are a great buying tool as well. If you think about the hot 10 list that Gem Mint and Comic Tom does and the hot 10 list that CBSI does, think of those lists as selling tools. Think of JP's look back as a buying tool. Hey, I wonder if it's time to buy that Star Wars Clone Wars book. Well, let me check out JP's channel and see where that landed, right? Where did it land on the CBSI Hot 10 list? JP's show is going to be 6 months later. And where does it land on his show? And what's that data that he's collected? That's a great buying tool. In fact, I find myself spending a little bit more money than I want to because there's some gems that JP's been covering that I'm like, yep, that thing is holding flat, which is the trend that I wanted to see before I started buying back in to catch it on the upswing. Morning aggressively relaxing. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. That stretch comment was just for you, Andy. Wait, what? Uh-oh. Where did I miss that? Did it get blocked? Let me look again. Where did it go? I missed it. That stretch comment may be on his show. The look back show is arguably the best thing any of us create. JP hit a nail on the head with that look back show. I tell you what. And the funny thing is, there are actually people doing what JP does a year out now. I can't remember the channel. Wish I could find it. But they kind of ran with JP's idea, and they're looking a year out. That's also a really helpful tool there. Let's see, what do we got here? We have X-Men. Actually, X-Men 191. I think this is the first Nimrod. Get that bagged and boarded in a new home. Geetith the old one out of the way. Oh, God, this is going to be a mess to clean up today. The bad dad joke I made on my video for... yes. Absolutely. Hopefully you guys are having a great Sunday, hanging out. Oh, I gotta shake the table here. There are almost 20 people watching. Can't thank you guys enough for hanging out as we do a no agenda bagging and boarding that sometimes ends up into some deep dives on Saga or some other things. X-Men 191 rebagged and reboarded, looking pretty good. Got a couple spine ticks on it, but I think this is the first Nimrod. Not bad. I think probably like a $10 minor key, maybe. Let's see if that has a nice little home down in there. And oh, speaking of keys, newsstand Darkhawk. Let's take a look at this thing. Not that I hold that book in super high regard, but it's just fun watching that book do what it's been doing the last couple of years. So it's looking pretty clean. And let's get into this. Let's get out of this. Let's get this thing out of this very dirty dress here. I think this has got a darker back, so I'm going to try not to slide it. And nope. Oh, that's that advertisement. Dracula's Curse, if I remember correctly. Yep. Darkhawk #1 newsstand edition in probably a 9.2 to a 9.6. Got a couple of spine ticks on it, but that's in good shape. Page quality looks pretty good. Very cool. Very cool find in that bin. And we'll get that tucked away. Dawn of the Darkhawk. That might be one to send to CGC. It might be. Because it's a newsstand, it might be worth sending. I don't know what Darkhawk #1 newsstands are going for right now. First comic you ever bought. Very cool. We had 1991. I'm going to need reading glasses here at some point. Light's pretty low, but very cool. I think, where was I? Where was I in comic collecting in 91? I don't quite remember. But Darkhawk wasn't something I saw on the shelf, so I just wasn't in the shop at that time or didn't know about it. Brand new bag and board. Oops. Looking crispy clean. Like there's a spine tick down there you can probably see by the back of the guy's neck. There's one there. And there's one right down here by the staple. So that's about pretty clean. That's probably in that 9.2, 9.4 range. Maybe a clean and press could get it to 9.6. Remember, 9.8s can have up to 2 imperfection or 2 issues, and I think 9.6s can obviously have a few more. So they might have a shot at a 9.6. I'll have to go through and inspect the rest of the book, but I think I'm going to add that to the pile of. I might add that to the pile of books that go to CGC just for fun. That might, by the time it gets pressed, cleaned, and graded, that might be a fun little auction put up for, whatever, $50, $60, $70, whatever the cost is to get that book slabbed and whatever grade it comes out as. I'm sure somebody out there would love to have a graded copy of that in 9.2, 9.4, 9.6, something like that. Newsstands tend to be a little bit tougher to find in high grade. So even if it's not a 9.8, those 9.2s, 9.4s, 9.6s are probably still desirable. And we've got a Darkhawk annual #2. Something about this time frame in the 90s, was this 1993? Pink was in. Pink was in the 90s, it seems like. Like, not just pink, but like Pepto pink. You know what I mean? That's a lot of Pepto pink there. He says, claim. What's up, man? When are you doing your next send off? I'm still planning my next drop off. So I don't really have a planned date or a time on this, but what I did do is I've selected several cleaners and pressers. Geek Aficionado. Yeah, I never finished talking about that either. Jimmy the Geek Aficionado is one of them. And Gary at Impressive Comic Book Services is another. I have plans for 10 book lots to go to cleaners and pressers every month, starting next month. And I'm going to continue that trend so that I'm potentially getting a box back from CGC every month starting this fall. And I'm hoping to keep that up for 6 to 12 months. if I can take a lot of the books that people are looking for and provide those at a very, very fair, reasonable price and cost in the Skeff comic book auction or the live auction that Skeff does, so that I can fund the submission of the books and just kind of keep this revolving circle of the same kind of financial aspect, so that it's not a strain and it's not a big thing to manage. It's kind of like X in, X out, X in, X out. That way I could actually build my collection of my personal collection for stuff that I'm looking for and provide really good deals to community members out there. Because there's only so much room for storing books. And it's not super straight, but good gravy for a square bound book. That is sharp. Not that Annual 2 is anything of a big deal, but usually those square bound books get crunched. That's not going to focus, but that's pretty tight for a square bound book. Yeah, exactly. This fall, more like in 20. So, yeah, the first batch of books I ended up sending out were to Jimmy, and those were my CPR Star Wars 42s. Those I'm hoping will be back this fall. And then, like, before the Book of Boba Fett starts, or right during it, because that'd be fun, kind of trend, you know what I mean? And then if I get the first batch out starting next month, that means probably after the holidays. So yeah, like the beginning of 2021. Hopefully I get that first batch back right before the holidays. Maybe even potentially during the holidays. So it's kind of like a future plan, because I really miss doing CGC unboxings, but good gravy, is it expensive if you do a lot of them? But I feel like if I can do 10 book lots, it becomes more affordable, more budgetable, something more easier to digest financially, and actually that way I'm not getting I'm not getting overwhelmed with stuff to organize either. 10 book lots, by the time you do that unboxing, keep it to about a half an hour so the content will be digestible and be kind of fun too. Yep, monthly drop-offs as well, so I don't get smashed with fees 6 months from now. That's the thing. That's what was worrying me was, well, what if they all landed and all of a sudden I owe CGC $1,000? Well, if I time things out, that should work out really well, right? Next square bottom sending off is First Squirrel Girl. Very cool. A sharp newsstand copy I need to get in a slab. Very cool. That's a nice key to have. Did I already do this? Well, I'm losing track here. Yep, this one's moving right along. Well, I'm not getting much bagging and boarding done, but we are having a good time chatting, right? Anybody else want to pop in and hang out? Feel free. That link is in the chat, or I can drop it again here really quick. Yeah, hoping to make it through the rest of this here, because there is some Thing books in there. So there's actually a chunk of Thing newsstand copies in here that I want to take a look at, see what the condition on those are. There's some Marvel Team Up or Marvel 2-in-1 stuff in here. I'm really hoping I can get through this stuff. There's a lot of Thing in here. Hopefully there's a Thing fan out there looking for these. Darkhawk number 5, newsstand copy. This collector seems to be a newsstand buyer. They're running into a lot of newsstand stuff out of the 80s. That's pretty good. That's pretty cool. Almost time to reload the bags. I think I've got 200 or 300 more. I don't know. I'm starting to feel a lot better. I don't know what you guys think, but I feel like I sound better. So all of a sudden, it just kind of hit me. I stopped watering. So yeah, what other content happening out there is a must-watch, not miss. JP's Look Back is a not-to-miss show. That's a ton of fun. I'm really digging Comic Book Canon and their Friday shows, and they're able to pull some of that and turn it into micro content. Their Hot 10 list that they go over is fun. They did an episode with Roger from 3 Men in a Basement, the Cranky Canadian. Oh, that was a great episode. Very cool. And in fact, I still have to watch their Friday episode. And I'll probably do that after lunch here. Their most recent one. What else is to not miss? I always catch the Comic Tom Gem Mint. Whoever Comic Tom is doing the top 10 list with at any given time. Always a fun tool to see what's going on and to pay attention to market trends. I never miss the Sibbleman's Comics FOC show. Never miss that. That is a very welcome backup tool to make sure that I don't miss something that I potentially missed in previews. I have to finish going through my previews yet, too. Oh, man. Darkhawk, number 7, newsstand. In very, very sharp shape. Very sharp shape. Getting a new bag, getting a new board. Oh, man. Some brands and tapes after they age just don't like coming undone and tend to rip the plastic. And then if you're not careful, you're bending the book. Kenneth Bird, what's going on, man? Happy Sunday to you. We are slowly but surely making our way through another chunk of books. Come on. Boy, this thing is crisp. I have to check out the pages, see if there's anything going on inside of that. Getting ready to watch some E3 coverage later on. Very cool, CW. CW, what am I saying? C. Woodard. There you go. Darkhawk, number 7, newsstand. Digging that. Very reminiscent of X-Men, where Psylocke gets their new costume, I think. A lot of the same colors. Very cool. The earth-shaking saga continues. Very crispy, clean copy. A couple pressable defects on the cover, but the spine is sharp. It amazes me how good the condition is on some books. Time for more bags. Oh, holy shit, this place is a mess down here. X11 Bravo, what is good? How are you? I don't know if you can see it, but that link to join if you want to hang out is in the chat. And here it is again for anybody just showing up. Lazy Sunday hangout, bagging and boarding, no agenda. Whatever's on your mind for you in the chat, feel free, ask questions, drop some comments. And my nose will not stop itching today with allergies. I'm just thankful that my eyes aren't watering anymore. You do some yard work. Sometimes you run into some silver bags. They're just a little bit tighter. And that seems a little odd, but it still works, right? So we are moving right along. We've got Darkhawk number 8. DH's greatest challenge. Her name is Lodestone. Lodestone? Lodestone? Interesting. Let's get into this. Lodestone? I better make sure I add tape to the shopping list. I'm on the last roll. Oof, I thought I had plenty. I was wrong. We got Darkhawk number 8. DH's greatest challenge. Her name is Lodestone. Super crispy, clean, great colors. I'll have to sit down and read Darkhawk one of these days. Yep. Just gonna bag and board. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Darkhawk number 9. An awesome Punisher cover. And some of this old tape is just trash. Is this double boarded? No, just a really bad bag. I've actually seen some of these issues graded and for sale online, going for the Punisher collectors there. Darkhawk number 9. Very cool Punisher cover. Side by side with Frank Castle the Punisher. I've actually seen some of those graded and online. Not in a while, but very cool. Let's see, what else? Saga. Almost done with collecting issue 1s. That one right here. The Comic-Con India variant is going to Gary at Impressive Comic Book Services for a press and clean. That's part of that batch going out in a couple of weeks. That's excitement level 1 million for me for that coming back. That will hopefully be... The reality of it is it's probably like an 8 to an 8.5, but after a serious cleaning and pressing, I'm hoping we can get that to a 9.0 or better. The highest copy on the census right now, I think, is a 9.2. There's only like 2 or 3 copies on the census. So if we can get it to a 9.4, it becomes the highest graded copy on the census. The reality of it is that's probably a real stretch for that book. It looks immaculate, but on the very back cover, there's some scratches going on that are not gonna go away. I'm just kind of hoping that a cleaning and a pressing will lighten the severity, maybe. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. But grading is, scratches are not something that goes over very well in the grading process. So it's probably going to get hard. I'm preparing myself for what potentially could be an 8.0. But Darkhawk number 10. Nice little run of Darkhawk in here. Almost full up on this next short box as we make our way through what potentially is a lot more Darkhawk. And what awesome shirt are we wearing today? So this is Section Nation. Section Nation. It's going to be unreadable on here, but the Section Nation is actually a clothing brand in Michigan, and the owner is Prior Marine Corps. So search Section Nation clothing on Google, and it should be the first thing that comes up. All American made, really high quality stuff. Sexy Nation, got it. Yeah. Google search that. But the Section Nation is a prior Marine Force Recon, if I remember correctly, who started his own all-American clothing brand several years ago after coming home, and they donate a lot of their proceeds to organizations that help with veterans. So that's another one I pick up, order shirts and hoodies from. I think pretty much all of the shirts and hoodies that I wear on a regular basis outside of YouTube are all in some way or form from organizations that donate back to honor fallen heroes and or veteran communities or veteran events. What's next? Ooh, Darkhawk 12, Heart of the Hawk, Part 3 of 6, guest starring Tombstone. Very crispy newsstand copy. Let me get it out of that dusty, dirty Baggin board, and let's take a look at it in something new. Yep. Supporting old war dogs is what we do. Check it out. I'm not necessarily the man. I am just one person hanging out, bagging and boarding comic books. Know what I mean? 11 people still watching and hanging out. Thank you. It's a good time. You guys got anything you want to talk about, you want to discuss? Hit up the comments in the live chat there. A little bit of a miscut, I think. Nope, that's the art. Yeah, this still looks pretty good. I want to take a look at the census numbers on Darkhawk. Not that anything in the Darkhawk run is really going to be valuable, but that could be really fun. If these candidates are super high grade and have a shot, Somebody out there is interested in collecting a run of Darkhawk books in 9.8 or 9.6s. If I'm collecting all of the Punisher Volume 2, I'm sure somebody else out there grew up reading Darkhawk that's really interested in a full run of Darkhawk books. That might be some fun content to get a bunch of Darkhawk books graded, especially if you got a full run of newsstands or close to a full run of newsstands. Wow, isn't that nice? There's something out there for everybody. It is almost 1 o'clock already. Holy moly. I'll probably go for another half an hour to an hour. Don't think I'm going to make it through this entire chunk here, because I've been gabbing. But, oh, there's some Fantastic Four in here. Just a few more books and we'll be hitting something different than Darkhawk. Here's number 13 newsstand. Ooh, this is a cool Venom cover. He's back. Venom. Newsstand. Very nice. Ooh. The Andy of Darkhawk. What poor person needs to make better choices? Oh, that poor person needs to make better choices. This is... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's going to sit here and watch me stare at a book for a hot minute. This is very nice. This is a solid 9.4 to a 9.6 contender. Very cool Venom cover. We'll get that back up here in just a second. One of these days, I might even set up a Sunday Baggin and Boardin hangout where once I rebag and reboard something, I put it in a little holder in the second camera. Just displays it for a hot minute or two as we move through the books, but that's a very cool Venom cover. Very nice. I love the colors on that. Very cool. What's next? More Darkhawk. Ooh, if that Venom cover wasn't cool enough. Oh, man. Very nice. 2 more Darkhawk books. Both in outstanding shape, it looks like. Edith, this is going to be a hot mess down here to clean up tonight. The Andy of Darkhawk. Yeah, I don't know. This is, I'm very interested in what the census looks like with Darkhawk books. Not that there's really a market for them, but I'm sure somebody out there would be interested, right? Ooh, we got another tight bag. Well, I might have to throw this one. Oh, no, I just had it crooked. There we go. Just had it crooked. This is a dope Venom cover. I'm going to talk about digging through some bins and looking for some sweet covers. Careful. Careful. So, yeah. Let's see what else. Everybody catch Loki already? I was pleasantly surprised. I am not a big fan of Loki, but that show seems to be written pretty dang well. That was very enjoyable. I'm looking forward to the second episode coming out. Wednesdays seem like an odd day to drop new episodes, but okay. What did you guys think about Loki? If you guys caught that. There you go. Darkhawk, The Island Paradise of Venom. Part 5 of 6 of The Heart of the Hawk. Number 14, newsstand. This is in really good shape. I love how clean these books are. This little run must have been like a lot of us in collecting comic books. You grab something, all intentions of reading it, and you put it away and you forget about it. This doesn't even look like it was read. If it was very, very delicately read. A clean and press with, wow. Don't think there's, nope, that's not. Yeah, this is super nice. Setting that aside, moving right along. Battle says, yes, I got my laptop to boot up pretty fast. Yes, Annie, do you love Darkhawk? I don't know. I've never read Darkhawk. I love the fact that these things are super clean out of this collection. And the newsstands are probably worth sending into CGC. Somebody out there is probably looking for those. If you love Darkhawk, you tell me how much you love Darkhawk. I don't. I'll have to read it. Have to check it out. I am digging the covers, though. I've never... I'm discovering these books for the first time. I've never even saw these on the shelf as a kid. I did not collect Darkhawk. Marvel at this time, my full undivided attention was given to Punisher Volume 2. And as a young lad, yeah, this is 1992. You could only buy a couple of books a week, couple of books a month. So Darkhawk, I'm discovering these books for these covers for the first time. Super nice. The condition is super nice. Oh, I love fish sticks. I know you're going with this. I know where you're going with this. X11's dying over there. If you're dying now, just you wait.
I love gold.
Darkhawk, number 15, newsstand. Very crispy looking. Very nice. Setting that aside. Moving right along. And we're getting into some Fantastic Four action. Fantastic Four, number 303. Let me get this out of there. Oh, nose is still itching. And this is why rebagging and reboarding is important. As tape ages, it doesn't get better. It actually ruins the bags, and the bags are getting pretty fragile and brittle as it is. I don't think these were ever taken care of, like rebagged and reboarded. These issues in this collection are in really good shape, but the bags and boards are not. So they look like they're probably the original bags and boards. I don't know. What do you guys think? Was it every 5 years or every 10 years? I mean, it depends entirely on what material you're using. But there is a number out there that people talk about of when you should rebag and reboard your collection. Yeah, dependent on what product you're using. That's why Mylars are the king. My understanding is that Mylars are forever, meaning that you don't need to replace Mylars. Once you get a book bagged and boarded in Mylar, I think you're done. I think C. Woodard, are you still in the chat? C. Woodard's got more knowledge on Mylar stuff than I do, but I think the only thing you have to consider potentially replacing over time might be the boards, depending on which ones you use, but I think Mylar is good forever. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I could definitely be wrong on that. Goat99, what's up? Good afternoon. Thanks for hanging out on today's or Sunday's just Sunday fun day hangout, no agenda, bagging and boarding. Fantastic Four, number 303. Fresh new bag and board. Heading to the short box. And 5 to 7 years rebag on polybags. Okay. Good to know. So because I like to use these softer polyethylene bags, I'm looking at another 5 years of redoing this collection. Probably not going to be me. At some point, a lot of these books that don't fit into my PC are going to end up in 4-book lots that start for $1 on either Skep's auction or wherever auction I'm hanging out at, or the Whatnot app. I'm definitely going to give Whatnot a shot. See what that's like, because they seem fast, furious, and a ton of fun. Kenneth, man, do you like Jack Kirby, The Marvel Legacy? Of it is not a paperback book. It's hardback. It's for $50. I saw it. I see there's never took it out of plastic or read it. I don't think I've ever seen that, actually. X11, Battle Panda listening while doing other stuff, so not commenting much. Yeah, that's kind of the idea, is just hanging out and rebagging and reboarding. People just kind of are going to sit and listen and hang out. That's what I do with a lot of other people's content. And a lot of the shows that I really enjoy watching are only 20 or 30 minutes long. So I tend to create a playlist and then let it run. But then when I want to get some bagging and boarding done, I could turn on the TV and just watch TV or just watch YouTube content. But why not just kind of hang out and talk comic books too? No agenda. Like, it was really fun when Comic Book Therapy popped in and we went down on a little saga collecting deep dive, or a saga rabbit hole, so to speak. That was a lot of fun. Which is probably going to develop itself into a show just sitting and talking about saga. Probably do something, probably do two, actually. I'd do a short segment going over collecting issue 1 and some of the other keys, and I'd probably do a long form hour to an hour and a half hangout with people coming and going, sharing their thoughts on it. But Fantastic Four issue 304 is dropping into the short box with a fresh Baggin board. I'm bummed out. X11 says, JP, bummed out. Missed out on your hang session last night. Yes, I missed out on that as well. I didn't realize it was taking place. He's on Spine Ticks until 3 o'clock in the morning. Wow. Saga. Absolutely. Saga is the bomb. So when it comes to YouTube channel content, I'm going to continue focusing on the Monday and the Wednesday thing and clipping some micro content of that. So for the people that don't hang out for the full shows, can catch the micro content of unboxing some stuff. And I'd like to clip some micro content from New Comic Book Day Wednesdays, like my cover pick of the week, my read of the week, maybe a variant of the week, or something like that, like a 5-minute micro content of this is what I grabbed and this is what I thought was the top of my list for the week in my collection. But then the Slabaganza giveaway is something that I need to make time to do. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. It is going to be here before I know it. And the Slabaganza giveaway is going to be an epic Slabaganza giveaway. I need to make that video sooner rather than later. I should probably do that in the next week. Sit down, just record it, edit it, get it up so that people can comment, people can get entered, because that live stream is approaching to hit 1,000. And we are moving on to, oh, this is cool. Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing and the Human Torch, issue 89, it looks like. There's a $7 price tag on that. I don't know if that's worth $7, but very cool. Keeping these in good shape is definitely important. 1982. I'm sure there's a collector out there that's looking for Thing and the 2-in-1 stuff, or the team up. What is this? This is 2-in-1. I'm sure somebody out there is looking for these books in really good shape. So we'll set those aside. And definitely work on recycling those old bags and boards. Do that correct. Yes. Are you still bullish on Darth Vader 3? Boy, am I ever bullish on Darth Vader 3. Yes, we'll do a quick little deep dive on Darth Vader 3. Because I am buying pretty much every copy I can find that's near mint for $100 or less. I think asking prices online for near mint copies of Darth Vader 3, the first printing, floating between $150 and $200, give or take. I'm extremely bullish on Darth Vader 3. Extremely bullish on Darth Vader 3. Dependent entirely on price, right? You don't want to pay well over. A book is only worth what people are willing to pay for it. And asking prices will always trend outside of what people are willing to pay for things until somebody is willing to pay for it. And then that trend bucks up, right? Darth Vader 3 is going to be one of those books where you're not going to see massive swings up and down. We're not going to see massive swings up and down. This one hits the box. I'll grab another one. So why am I bullish on Darth Vader 3? We are talking about one of the coolest characters to hit Star Wars in a long, long, long time. You're talking about the female Indiana Jones of the Star Wars universe. And 2 murder droids are introduced. So you got 3 first appearances in that issue. You got a strong female lead character that is probably one of the coolest characters in Star Wars, aside of Ahsoka Tano. There's, a couple other great books to pick up for Star Wars, but Darth Vader 3 is one I'm incredibly bullish on. I have another copy to unbox on the Monday mail call tomorrow. I have a graded copy that I'm going to do a deep dive on that I picked up, and I can't wait to share that one tomorrow. Hopefully you guys are interested in hanging out and watching that and catching that tomorrow. Really, really, really excited to that. It's really odd too. I hope you guys show up to catch that, because it is not in a typical slab ship box. It isn't something different, and there's something that went wonky with the shipping. It was literally just on the other side of Michigan. It should have been like a 1 day, 2 day priority, super fast, but it definitely was not marked correctly on the shipping label, and the box is not a normal box to use for slabs. So fingers crossed, that's not a big issue. Hopefully you guys are interested in seeing that tomorrow. It'll be the Mail Call Monday live. I'll go live at 8 o'clock tomorrow night because we're going to get into that. I'm going to title that episode like AOKs and spec plays or something like that. There's 1 or 2 AOKs that I'd like to unbox from community members that I received. And then that Dr. Aphra graded book. And I want to do a little bit of a deep dive on that, of why I paid what I did for it and what I found and why I think this book is a CPR candidate. And it's a whole thing. I don't want to completely spoil it, but if you guys are interested in hearing more about Darth Vader 3 and about collecting that book, I'm going to do some more of that tomorrow. So Darth Vader 3 has 4 printings. Printing 1 and printing 2 have high print numbers, right? The second printing, though, has a print run of half of number 1, yet the price, so you're talking rarity ticks up a little bit on that second printing, yet the price is well under the first printing of issue 3. So there's something to pay attention to, right? So if the print number is half of what the first printing is, wouldn't the rarity be up and the pricing be up too? It's not yet, but I don't have any of those either, so I know I want to get one of those. Yeah, ABZ. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll hit up this chat. Welcome, ABZ. Welcome, Perry Comics. I'll hit up this chat here again in just a minute. Quick deep dive on Darth Vader 3. The third printing and the fourth printing are the ones that are higher in rarity, or the numbers are much lower for the prints. It escapes me at the moment entirely. 4 was the one that I picked up a fourth printing for like $10, and it was minty, minty, minty. There's a major challenge when it comes to collecting Star Wars books that we're going to talk about here in just a second. All of those Star Wars books have color rub issues right out of the box, right from the manufacturer. You look on that back advertisement, the back cover, it's got a black section in the bottom, and right down by Luke's foot or the leg on that action figure, right by the staple, a lot of them have color rub issues down there. So I'm looking for copies that do not have those color rub issues, that are close to near mint. I'm buying those up. And number 4, the one that I got for $10, showed up in perfect shape, and I forgot to look at the back. I didn't want to open it. I didn't want to fidget with it. I sent it right to CGC, and it came back a 9.6. And I was like, oh, it was so close to a 9.8. I thought I had it. Those 9.8s are super expensive, and the 9.6 of that is getting expensive too. It's back there. So I don't have a third print, and I don't have a second print of that book yet. Why? I don't. I should have bought those a long time ago. It was on me, but I'm super bullish on the Dr. Aphra number 3, or Darth Vader number 3, the first Dr. Aphra and the battle droids. I'm also bullish on Darth Vader number 4, which would be Aphra's second appearance. And I don't have any of those because I haven't found them in bins anywhere for affordable prices. People have already bought most of those up. Now, number 4 can readily be found on eBay and other places, but you're going to pay a premium right now. It's like a $20 book, I think. Asking prices. Books are only worth what people are willing to pay for them. So I digress. I'll move on here and hit this chat in just a second here. I'll get back to Darth Vader 3 a little bit more here in a bit. But Marvel 2-in-1 starring The Thing, issue 91 newsstand, hits the short box over here. And all of these books are in very fine plus, near mint minus. They're all in really, really good shape. And they all have very pressable defects in them. Once again, Perry Comics, thanks for stopping by and hanging out, man. ABZ, good to see you. You're on that one as well. Come on down the rabbit hole with me. Yes, we will continue the Darth Vader rabbit hole in just a little bit here. Wanted to say hi to the chat and everybody here. With me, I've never ever won a slab at all. I always enter the giveaways to maybe try, but I'll never win a slab. I don't have, I'll slap. It's like a lottery. Okay, so the Slabaganza giveaway. I want to try to get to up to 10 slabs to give away. And just because there are people out there that are interested in owning and collecting slabs that don't have any right now, or have the means or the ability to find them and pick them up. I actually have there's three saga slabs that'll be in this giveaway. No joke. And right now I think there's 5 books. There's a New Mutants #1 9.8 that was won from Gorilla Todd Comics push to 1,000 subscribers. That's going to be in that stack as well. So it's going to be pretty big. I want to get up to like 10 slabs. I've got a really good packing method that's really affordable for shipping slabs. So if I do 10 slabs, that'd be about $150 worth of shipping fees. Pretty easy. It'll be one of those videos that drops like, hey, it's the Slabaganza giveaway, or it's the road to 1,000 subscribers, that journey to 1,000 subscribers. Enter here. Here are the rules. Stay tuned for the Slabaganza giveaway live stream when the channel hits 1,000. That's what it'll be, one of those deals, because that gives me buffer time to prepare, and it gives me time to find people that want to come in and hang out, people from the community, because it'll be one of those epic live streams that you go live, people rotate in and out and hang out. We tell a lot of dad jokes, have a couple of drinks, and while that's happening, we do probably a comment generator, or we'll do the wheel, right? We'll do either the comment, not generator, but the comment picker from the video, or everybody from that video will get entered on a wheel, and we'll do something like that. So I'm thinking up to 10 slabs. I've got 5 or 6 right now. So I'm just kind of skirting around the YouTube auctions and looking on IG and looking for slabs that are fun and affordable that people will be interested in, and looking to buy some more of those to add to that Slabaganza giveaway. So that's that as well. Oh, God, is it Monday already? Absolutely. Literally decided to go live 10 minutes before I did. Yes. So I bought a few runs of Darth Vader Volume 1. Most was with a #3. Very cool. Yep. So my interest in that run of Darth Vader peaked a year and a half, 2 years ago, where we read it on Modern Men. And it was such a good read. And I fell in love with the character, fell in love with that run. That's Gillen's run of Darth Vader. That I'm like, I gotta collect this. Same thing. Went on eBay, found a full run of issues like 1 through 10 or 1 through 12, bought that. I'm like, you know what? Let me focus on this character. I'm really, really digging Aphra as a character. Aphra has to show up on screen. Aphra is probably one of the biggest characters to hit Star Wars that has so much excitement around it. Super strong female lead. You got 2 murder droids that get introduced in this. If you think of Aphra as the next torchbearer for that style of character that was Han Solo, right? That smuggler slash Indiana Jones style, that suave kind of, nonchalant, running through the galaxy kind of. It just sounds super cool. It just sounds way too cool to not end up in a movie or a series or on screen. So it's like I'm extremely bullish on a character that cool. That's a strong female lead. That's like the next Indiana Jones, or an Indiana Jones style character for Star Wars. It's just too cool not to explore, right? It's just too cool to not find a way to explore that avenue of the Star Wars universe at some point, which is why I'm just really bullish on that book. #3 and #4. And there's a whole deep dive of Dr. Aphra appearances and covers on CBSI. There's a whole article on it, which will totally blow your mind and expand your thought process on collecting Dr. Aphra. Right now, until I can get the extra printings and the other graded copies done on just issue 3, then I'll move to issue 4, and then I'll broaden my horizons after that. But man, got to see that unboxing. Yes, so tomorrow night, 8 o'clock here, Comic Man Andy YouTube channel, Monday, Mail Call Monday live. And we are going to open up another Dr. Aphra book. And we're going to do a mini deep dive on why I purchased it and why I think it's a big deal. Actually, been bagging and boarding my Star Wars stuff this week. Indexed some of it. Yeah, very cool. All raws, though. Yeah, I got actually about an hour ago when I started, I went through a chunk of Dark Horse Star Wars books and rebagged and reboarded those. All the printings are hot. Caps on Comics, thanks for being here. Caps on Comics, another great YouTube channel with awesome content you guys got to check out. If you don't know, please do. Don't miss out on that. Hopefully your Sunday is going well for you. Cheers to you. Goat99, Darth Vader is amazing with more room to grow. Yeah, it's just not seeing those sharp trends and just kind of been a slow climb. And then I think we're starting to see a sharp upward trend. look at the data. I'm not a data expert. I just float in and out of trying to keep attention or keep paying attention to that so that I don't miss opportunities to buy stuff as cheaply as I can for my personal collection, because I don't want to pay full price if I don't have to. Squatchy Comics, thanks for being here. Speaking of Comic Vantage and some of the bags and boards, Squatchy and Comic Foo hang out quite a bit on Comic Foo's channel, and you can see some great Comic Vantage unboxings over there. And there's some discussion over there of the bags and boards that the bags that Comic Vantage is doing over there that I've been hearing good things about. Hulk Smash and Wolverine slash that like button. Absolutely. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Yes, Caps on Comics. Be sure to check him out. And I am going to get moving. I told myself I was going to try to get through the last of this right here, but that's a whole nother short box of books there. Almost a whole nother short box. But it's almost lunchtime for me, so we're going to go for probably another 20 to 30 minutes. Try to get some more of these books while we hang out with you guys. I can't thank everybody enough for stopping by, hanging out, spending some time on a no agenda Sunday. This is great. Just great organic, great organic conversation about stuff that interests all of us, right? Bags and boards, some of the books we're collecting for our PCs. Oh, neat. I'm almost out of something to drink. And I've been rambling for quite a while. But this is a super cool cover here. Another fresh bag and board. Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing versus Machine Man. Number 93 newsstand. Very neat. This seems like a great candidate to put in like a 4-book lot. Maybe I can find 92, 93, 94, 95, 4-book lot, started for $1 somewhere. These Marvel 2-in-1s are in really good shape. And I feel like there's a group of people out there that collect these Marvel 2-in-1s. Yeah, there's 94. Direct edition. Featuring Power Man and Iron Fist. Lego ad on the back of that. Oh, yeah. Oh, I already bagged on board. I'll have to check it out later. Oh, yeah, you guys are. I wasn't even really. Yes, that Lego ad. Yep. Somebody had a $7 price tag on that. I don't know if that book's actually worth like $7, but we're going to keep it nice and crispy in new bags and boards. Keep it in good shape for people looking for that. Kenneth, I like to follow you on Instagram, but I don't think I have your Instagram at all. Just search Comic Man Andy on Instagram. I'm the little @ symbol and Comic Man Andy, and I should be the first thing that pops up. I'll give you my Instagram name so you can contact me when you finish this live stream. I will actually look that up right now. I thought I was following you already. Let me move this out of the way, and I will pull that up. But, where's the dog alarm going off? Let me get this right over here. So we will look. Actually, what I'll do, I'll just do that. Boom. And now I've got it saved, and I can grab that later. Charlie is all about mutants right now. She's currently reading House and Powers of X. I'm so proud. Very cool. Yeah, you would be. I would be proud too. This is a super cool cover. Yeah, Jim Lee is Motor City Comic Con 19. I did the Jim Lee signing event there and had 3 books signed by him. Had the Alpha Flight 51 signed. That came back at 9.6. Alpha Flight 51 being Jim Lee's first pencils with Marvel. Then, hey, Lisa Noble, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. We're just talking about Jim Lee for a quick second. Then I had X-Men number 4, the first Omega Red, signed by him. Very, very cool Jim Lee cover. And then one of my favorite Jim Lee covers, Punisher Armory number 1. Had that signed by him as well. The Punisher Armory number 1 came back at 9.8. And the X-Men 4 came back at 9.8 as well. The Alpha Flight 51, unfortunately, came back at 9.6. Would have been really cool to have all 3 come back 9.8. I will take a 9.6 on that Alpha Flight 51, though. 1978? No, Alpha Flight 51, Jim Lee. If some of his earliest Punisher work was in 1998 or 1988, 1988 on War Journal number 1. So that means that Alpha Flight 51 was probably in 84, 85, or 86. And that was his first pencils with Marvel. So I'm like, yeah, I walked up to the counter or walked up to the table. I was like, hey, man, I kind of thought it'd be really cool to have this progression, bring this progression of books of your artwork. You know, your first pencils and my favorite Punisher cover of yours. And then this, the X-Men #4. He's like, oh, that's great, man. You know, not a lot of time to talk. I mean, there's a million people behind me, but it was very cool. That's the only signing event I've ever done. I would like to do more in the future. But speaking of cool covers, this is super cool. The Thing and the Living Mummy newsstand, issue number 95. Very, very, very cool 2-in-1 cover. This thing is super crispy. Super, super good shape. Very cool. 1982. Yes, thank you, Caps on Comics. Once again, appreciate it, which means if I'm not following you, I'll be able to click that same link and be able to follow you really easily there. Everybody's saying hi. 51 is a Squatch cover. It looks like this run in this collection is like somewhere in the 80s on up. Nothing that low. Sent you his profile in the DM. Okay, hey, thank you very much. Oh, God's sakes, I'm out of here. Oops, what happened, man? Hopefully everything's good. Let's get into this one. This is issue 96. Looking like it's in... Oops, missed. Looking like it's in really good shape. But I'm making good headway on this. The goal is to try to sit down and bag and board comics every Sunday and hang out. Oh, God, snakes. Not, oh, God, snake. Oh, I get it. I get it. Yes. I hate snakes, but that was a super cool cover. Once in a while, you get a bag that's just a little off on the size, but like I said, that's why I buy Silver Age bags and boards, because all of these modern age books fit in here very, very well. This was just a little tight, but that's all right. Squeeze all the air out nice and safe like. I don't know about you guys. I've got this method to my madness of bagging and boarding. I like to get them nice and flat. Very cool. Number 96. Things in the hospital. Trying to chill out. And everybody's got a ruckus going on in the hallway. Newsstand edition. Very clean. Very nice. Trying to make it through a few more books here. I'm getting about to the wind down time. I don't like to go too far into the Sunday because I know comics will break your heart. She has a great live stream on Sundays that's starting about now, I think. Or maybe it did already. And there's a few other great Sunday live streams going on here. Ooh. Maybe I am running into some minor keys here. All of these books were priced $7, however long ago that was. This is a super cool. Maybe I should have read more Marvel books back in the 80s because these covers are dope. Oh, it's been on for a bit. Okay, so I'm not a fan of running my live streams over top of or into other people's live streams just because 90% of the time I'd rather be in their live streams hanging out too. So I'll finish this up here in a little bit. I'll try to get through some more books, but number 97 newsstand, very clean, very good shape. Awesome. On long box 2 for the Star Wars ABZs has, wow, that's a lot. If a short box holds 100 books, does a long box hold 300? Can't quite remember. I specifically stayed away from buying long boxes. When I created my man cave, like Comic Man Andy, Comic Cave, Comic Dungeon collection down here, I specifically stayed away from long boxes just because I knew I was going to end up with a lot of comic books and having to move that many long boxes is I'm constantly moving my short boxes around. I couldn't imagine having to constantly move my long boxes around. I'm always pulling all of these out of the shelves and rifling through them, looking for stuff for friends and not really family members, but friends and other people in the community that's looking for stuff, where I'm pulling stuff for auctions. I'm always digging through all these. And then whenever, every new comic book day, I'm buying 15 10 to 15 comics. Sit down, read them, bag them, board them. I've got my little area right here with 4 short boxes that all the new stuff that comes in goes there. And then eventually I have to sit down to pull all of that. And then I have to get that all into the big collection that sits up on the wall. So I'm always moving short boxes around. I couldn't imagine doing it with long boxes. Hoarder's Hide, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Hopefully you're having a great day. We are currently working our way through a run of Marvel 2-in-1 books out of this collection. Rebagging and reboarding these. Yeah, they get heavy for sure if filled with moderns. Yeah, because modern books are pretty stout on the weight. That's how you get swole. Move long boxes all day. Yeah. I probably will throw my back out, but I'm sure plenty of other people out there are in good shape because of swinging some long boxes. We've got issue 98 here. Very cool. Thing with what looks like a target over his face. Featuring special guest star Franklin Richards. Very cool. The colors on these are great. Mm-hmm. And there's still 20 people watching. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. You loving the Marvel DC decorated short boxes? Yes. I do love those as well. I didn't ever consider buying one until the last couple of years. And then I'm like, ooh, I look over at my storage area and I see nothing but white boxes. And I'm like, that would be kind of weird to have a couple of those decorative boxes mixed in. It feels like it would be very off for that. But got another, how many? Wow. There's quite a few Marvel 2-in-1 books here. Created a JPG of your first long box. Oh, nice. Very nice. This cover is very green. And I don't know if it's just a little bit of aging or if it's part of the inking process, but the green's not quite as vibrant as some of the other covers and the colors. Long boxes definitely suck for the PC Hoarder's Hide. Absolutely. I think some time ago, Very Gary did like a tour of his comic storage area. And I have never seen so many long boxes of comic books that, I mean, I think I saw a picture on his social media he shared of stuff that he was going through for an auction. It was just a giant pile of long boxes, like in the middle of a garage or something like that. And I'm like, that's like what he recently picked up. Couldn't imagine having to haul all of that around and load it. We got issue 99 here. Green cover, but that green's kind of dull. I don't know if that's just the part of the printing process or if this book's aged a little bit. But the corners are still sharp and the spine is in great shape. Setting that one aside. Moving right along. You prefer the BCW black bins. I sticker bomb them. I prefer the BCW black bins as well for all of my graded stuff. The raw books, though, I actually prefer them in cardboard. Cardboard has a little bit more flexibility to them. So when they're full of books and I'm rifling through them, it's not quite so rigid. And when I've actually accidentally damaged books in the BCW black hard plastic bins, just pulling them in and out and catching the sides. I've actually accidentally damaged books. So I moved away from using those BCW plastic bins for raw books, but I absolutely love them for, see, I'm rambling. I got tape out and I haven't even put a comic book in there yet. I prefer the cardboard boxes for storage of raw books, but I definitely prefer the BCW hard plastic bins for the graded books. Absolutely. Those are almost worth their weight in gold. Let's see if I can pull this off without. Keep that finger out of the way here. There we go. Oop, are we going backwards now? We are apparently going backwards. Yep. Throw it in the bag, throw it in the board. I lay it flat, and I just kind of lightly squeeze all the air out of the pages and all the air out of the bag and board, because otherwise it takes forever for those things to sit in the short box and kind of get that air out on their own. We are down. We went backwards, and we are on issue 67 now. Thing versus Hyperion. Passport to Oblivion. Very cool. Those, I never cared for these advertisements at the top. I never really cared for those at all, but that's kind of iconic of that time frame or that era, 1980. See you around, Cap. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for stopping in and hanging out, man. Steve White, good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Hey, Andy, do you grade your books while you bag and board, then document it somewhere? When I'm doing a massive collection like this, I don't grade them really. I basically take a quick look at them and kind of are they a very fine? Are they a near mint minus? I just kind of give them, if it's a key or if it's something that somebody is looking for, or I'm going to trade or I'm going to sell something, then I'll pull it out. I'll flip through the pages, make sure there's no interior damage, but I just kind of give a quick look at the front and the back. Because all of these books are pretty much dollar bin books, I think. I don't think I've run into any major keys besides that Darkhawk #1, which that one I will pull and grade. When it comes to first appearances or what other keys are there? First appearances, cameo appearances, events, any sort of events or tie-ins that are very interesting or big. Yeah, I will pull the books and I will grade them. But for the most part, getting through this collection, these are all dollar bin books, I think. Although I don't know anything about this, but there's an $8 price tag on it. I don't think that's going to sell for $8, but either way, there is a group of people out there that are definitely looking to collect these Marvel 2-in-1s. So these would be great in 4-book lots that start off at like $1 in auction stuff. The trick is just gotta find people that are looking for these and get them to that auction so that they get them. You know what I mean? So not all of them. And when I do any type of documentation, I should make an Excel spreadsheet. I should do something where I have it stored away, but right now I keep paper notes so that when I send stuff into CGC, I just have a section of backer boards that submission X, submission Y. I pull that when the books come back and I can compare. But that Overstreet guide to grading comic books was a huge, huge help in learning how to grade books and learning how to understand what categories they fall in. And I'm not the type of person that I've sat down and I've checked off every single little thing, and I'm like, okay, it's going to be this. But at the end of the day, there's not every grader is going to act and respond the exact same way at CGC or CBCS or PGX or anything else. So it's all in the hands of the grader. So I feel like that's a ton of work on my end to put in for it to either not work out. Like I can't find the trend. If I sit down and I find everything that's wrong with a book, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to land at that grade. There's avenues of shipping that can cause problems. There's avenues of flow at CGC that can cause problems. You could have a grader that's having a migraine that misses a couple things or sees something where they don't see it or whether it's not there. You never know. So I think for the amount of work that goes into grading books, if I'm going to get them graded, it's going to be a pass fail. It's either going to, yes, I'm going to grade it. No, I'm not going to grade it. And then if it's a pass, I'll look deeper and I'm looking for a window. Am I at an 8 to an 8.5? Am I at a 9 to a 9.2? Am I at a 9 to a 9.4? Like, because at the end of the day, if I'm willing to spend the money to get something graded and send it out, it's because that's what I want to do and not necessarily because of what the grade is going to be, right? So I like to be pleasantly surprised too and receive some 9.6s or 9.8s, but it's just so much extra work and extra stress to try to grade everything and be really tight on it. I'll pay a cleaner and a presser for an evaluation before, because I can never really trust my own opinion or my own grading because I'm not a professional at it, really. Once again, yes, Cap, good to see you, man. See you later. Thanks for stopping by. How many slabs fit in a BCW box? I don't know. That's a great question. How about we find out really quick? Do I have a full one here? I have an almost full one. I have an almost full one here. And I'd say I got room for 1 or 2 more. So 1, 2, and it depends on whether it's a new slab or an old slab, right? The older slabs are thinner, but 1, 2, 3. I'd say comfortably 25. I've got a mixture of old slabs. I've got a mixture of new slabs in here. And I've got some of these annuals, these square bounds that are in the much thicker slabs. So I'd say comfortably 25 at a minimum. Or an average, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 22, 23. I've got 24 of them in here right now, and I can fit 2 fingers in the back, so I could probably get another one in here. So if you used all standard modern CGC slabs, you're looking at probably 26 or 27. Guessing, rough estimate. But Lisa Noble says thought 30. But as you can see, I've got a mixture of the square bound books in there, the annuals, and I've got some thinner ones, and then I've got some of the modern ones. So it varies. I'd say comfortably 25, depending on what you're doing with it, what you're putting in there. If they advertise 30 in though, if they advertise 30 on their website though, I would go with what they advertise. Obviously, if they're advertising 30, then they've put in the work and the effort to figure that out. I'm just guesstimating based off of my own usage. So where are we at? We did issue 68, moving right along here. Moving right along, issue 68, newsstand. And let me hit up those comments again really quick. Setup is different. I use top loaders on my raw books and my long box bins. Yeah. So one of the things that I do is I take those BCW plastic boxes and I store my top loaded comics in there. But instead of front to back, I turn them to the side and I can store. I use Silver Age top loaders, and those Silver Age top loaders allow me to store 2 sections of books in there differently. So not lengthwise, widthwise. And I can do 2 sections of those in there, which is really nice, which makes it really easy and convenient to store my top loaded books or top loaders. Slab bins are on back order. Not filling order until late July. So yeah, the last time I ordered, they were on back ordered as well, and I'll order them in the 5 box cases. So I think I got free shipping. I got a little bit of a price discount the last time I did it. They are fantastic, and you get the bigger savings when you buy more, obviously. Thanks for the visit. Got to bounce. Station Comic Book Therapy. Thanks for being here. Good to see you. Steve White says cool. And Lisa just ordered slab bins on Amazon. I know you can find them on Amazon. I almost bought them from there one time, but I ended up going back to BCW's website because I've got the bigger deal or the better package deal on there when I bought 5 of them in that case order. And I got free shipping as well. So that kind of nullified needing to use Amazon Prime if they were already offering me free shipping there. Highly recommend Comic Base. I've heard good things about those as well. Steve White, I write the grade on a post-it and put it in the bag. Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all. That is a very good idea. John is still hanging out. Thanks, man. Absolutely. Yeah, I fit about 25 is what my average is. I'll probably fit a couple more in there. But like I said, there's kind of a mixture of slabs in there. Those annuals, square bounds are a lot bigger in size. What else we got here? Comic Base indexing database. I believe it is. Big Herm Collectibles. Had to go run some errands and come back, and Annie's still going. Station. Absolutely. Have a great day, X11. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to bag and board a couple more books here. Couple more while I have not only the time, but the dog alarm isn't going off right now. And usually those dogs go crazy when there's a lot of activity in the house, which means it's nice and quiet. So we will continue to get through a little bit more. And what is up next? I should actually probably put the bags and the boards together first and then just do the swap. Ooh, come on now. Look at this. Very, very cool. Very cool. It is almost 2 o'clock. We will go till 2 o'clock, and then we will call it a day. So we'll go for another 15 minutes. And we've got issue 71, Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing, and Mr. Fantastic Newsstand Edition. And there's a couple of spine creases. Nothing major. Still in that very, very nice looking category of very fine plus to probably more like a near mint minus. Once again, still would have to check the interior. we've got some other people rolling in. White Whale Comics. What is good, brother? Good to see you. Yo, I'm at work, so I can't stay, but just wanted to say hi. Hopefully work's not bringing you down too much. Happy Sunday to you, sir. Like I said, we'll hang out for about another 15 more minutes, see how many more of these I can get done. Well, these $8 price tags on these books seem really ambitious. I don't know anything about Marvel 2-in-1 books. So maybe they are worth $5, $6, $7, $8, but this one is very dirty on the cover. You guys will see this in just a second. Some absorbing putty might clean that up, but like I said, $8 seems really ambitious for a non-key back issue book. There's the dog alarm. I don't know if that comes through. Can you guys hear that? Every time a bird goes by, those dogs bark. So, yes, here we go. You guys can probably see this. Issue 72, The Thing and the Inhumans. And right above his bicep of his right arm, you see that fading there? That's actually a little bit of dirt. Also up in here. Pretty dirty. Some absorbing putty might take that out. Otherwise, still sharp corners, good looking spine. I'm sure there's somebody out there looking for that somewhere. Let me make some more room here. Oh yeah, that box is getting full. Yes, it's an indexing catalog software. I've been using it for about 20 years. Awesome. Very cool, Hoarder's Hide. Take care, Battle. Thanks for being here. Have a great Sunday. Steve White, thanks for the chat. I'm going to hang out in my backyard with a frosty beverage and read my weeks. Absolutely. I should get a hammock. I've got a great space in the backyard that's really shady between some trees. I should get a hammock and get a little stand or a side table there to read some comic books and also enjoy a frosty cold beverage outside in the great weather when it's not humid and nasty. Late supper time for me in 15 minutes. You're in Scotland, ABZ? Oh, that's super cool. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out. How's the weather over there? Scotland's always been one of those places I'd love to travel to and check out. Maybe that's one of those bucket list items one of these days before I kick the bucket myself. Thanks, Kenneth. Good to see you still hanging out here. Hammock with the beer. Absolutely. Sounds like a good time. And we've got issue 73, The Thing and Quasar, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Another newsstand. Like I said, this collector focused, or not necessarily focused, but that maybe just what was readily available were newsstand copies at the time for them. Probably, what are we talking about? We're talking 1980, 81, 82. Could be a drugstore, could be a supermarket, something like that in passing. One of those regular weekly errands and picking up some books as they went. Ooh. Oh, very cool. You guys are going to dig this one. Issue 77, 1981. You guys are going to dig this one. Let me get this all straightened out. Let's check out that back cover. Ooh, prizes or cash. I'm pretty excited to continue getting through this collection on Sundays, hanging out, bagging, and boarding, because there's a whole chunk of Avengers and West Coast Avengers over there that I haven't been able to go through. That I was able to. The first Colorless Vision, the first appearance of Colorless Vision, I did find that in there. I did take that book and actually put it up into an auction and sent the half of the proceeds went to the original collection owner. So we split that book in half after auction because I know there were a number of people looking for that book at the time. ABZ is your local airport code. If you buy a hammock for outside, the squirrel poop is real. Proceed with caution. Ooh, maybe I'll have to buy one of those that's easy to clip on and off and I can put it away in storage. You guys are going to like this cover. Issue 77. It's a newsstand. Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing and the Man Thing. This is rub my nose itching bad today. Look at that. Super cool. We got As I Lay Me Down to Die. Ooh, who's that on the bottom? Plus Ben Grimm, fighting side by side with Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos at all of this and World War II. That is really cool. I don't know if that's a minor key or anything. I'm going to have to check that out. That is a very cool cover in really good shape. Slight bit of spine roll, but not too bad. Nothing a press wouldn't fix. Very cool. And the colors are vibrant on that. I don't know about you guys, but I love going through these 80s books. Jeff Schultz, one love from Chicago. How are you? Just a quick hello and goodbye to Andy in the chat. Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. I think we put a pretty good dent into these books. We'll go for about another 10 minutes. See if I can get through another 3 or 4 of these. Ooh. This is another cool cover. Vibrant colors. Slight spine roll. Actually, no, the staples are exactly where they should be. Get all the air out of the bag here. Got tape down. And The Thing and Wonder Man, issue number 78. Very clean and vibrant cover. Very cool. Sharp corners. Not as sharp as I thought they'd be. At first glance, they look sharp, but they're not bad at all. Very clean looking copy. That goes right in the box as well. And moving on to another bag and board. So yeah, we'll go for about another 10 minutes, like I was saying. Grab a quick bite to eat for lunch. Then it'll be time to set things up for the Monday mail call live stream, 8 p.m. right here. And I'll also be setting up and working on the Simpleman's Comics Tuesday Comic News Weekly show. We'll be hanging out there, talking about latest comic book news, things that are happening, the trends. That'll be a fun time on Tuesday. Then Wednesday, right here on this channel, we'll do New Comic Book Day, 7:30, 8 o'clock, depending on what's going on. Get home, read all the books that I can read. We'll talk about those. And then I'll save Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for hanging out with the rest of the community. And I'll probably drop some micro content, you know? And I am looking forward to being right back here next Sunday for more bagging and boarding. No agenda, just hanging out, getting through the rest of this section of books, and possibly getting into those Avengers books, seeing if maybe there's some Fantastic Four stuff in there. Issue 79, The Thing in Blue Diamond, another newsstand. Yep. See if we can get a few more done. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Number 80, another newsstand. And if this character hasn't been hot lately, and I don't know what's hot, but let me get this down in there. Another prizes or cash advertisement. Talking about Ghost Rider. Seen a lot of heat lately. No pun intended. But The Thing versus the Ghost Rider Death Race. Number 80. Another newsstand. Very cool. Getting to the point where that short box is almost completely full. It's kind of hard to get them in there without accidentally clipping them. Let's see here. Ooh. There's some great covers in here. We got ourselves issue 81, another newsstand. I'm starting to notice that these books are seeing more spine ticks as I'm going deeper into this run, so that means somebody was probably thoroughly enjoying these books. Or, being newsstands, they were getting rifled through at whatever shop or store they were at. And issue 81, newsstand. The Thing, side by side with the Savage Submariner. Behold the mind-staggering might of MODOK. Very cool. Once again, never been a fan of the big advertisements at top, but that was just their thing back in the 80s. Iconic to that era of Marvel books. This is 81. And last book we'll pull out and do here because I am out of room in that short box. And it looks like I have got a heck of a lot of cleaning to do over here. One more book, and then we'll hit up the chat and we'll close things out here. Oh, there we go. All kinds of great books in here. Issue 83. Maybe 82 was a key because I'm starting to notice that a lot of keys are not in these runs as I go through them. What did I say? That was 81, and then it jumps right to 83. 82 must have been a key. It's like odd. This collection has doubles on a lot of stuff that just didn't matter. And then the stuff that did matter kind of isn't in here. That's all right. A lot of the modern stuff in here would be great for the neighborhood kids, quarter a book at a garage sale. I'm sure there are people out there that are looking for these Marvel 2-in-1s, though. There's got to be some 2-in-1 collectors out there that are looking for these because these are in really good shape. Issue 83. Ooh, The Thing confronts the power of Sasquatch. Very cool. With Squatchy Comics in here not too long ago saying issue 51 was a Sasquatch cover. Well, issue 83 is also a Squatchy cover. Very cool. One more book. I'm going to do one more book. Maybe, I don't know. I can't stop bagging and boarding. This is a cathartic, fun way to spend a Sunday. And I got to do the work anyways, right? If I'm going to be doing the work anyways, I might as well have fun while I'm doing the work. And this one, Marvel 2-in-1, featuring The Thing and Alpha Flight. Alpha Flight's been on people's minds. Apparently, Alpha Flight #1 was on a hot list Friday? This past week? Apparently, that Alpha Flight #1 is catching some love, which means that Alpha Flight run might be catching some love as well because there's first appearances and keys in that run that have probably been undervalued for quite a while. I had a whole 2 short boxes of Alpha Flight books, I think, that I've picked up out of other collections that I'm going to have to dig through and check. So we've got issue 84 featuring The Thing and Alpha Flight. The Rage of the Ravager? Yeah, The Rage of the Ravager. Another newsstand edition. Colors are very vibrant on this. This is looking super cool. I wish I knew the artists on a lot of these books in the 80s. I just don't. Like I said, back then I was only grabbing a couple of books per month, whatever I could afford from an allowance. Nerdy Couch, what is up, man? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. We're just bagging and boarding, hanging out. Rock City Comics, good to see you. Hopefully you guys have good weather wherever you're located and the sun is shining down on you. And we're just getting rid of all these really old, crappy bags and boards. Getting some fresh polyethylene Silver Age bags out. We talked about it heavily earlier, a couple hours ago, actually. I prefer the polyethylene because the bags have a bit of a stretch to them so that I don't damage the books when I'm handling them because I've accidentally damaged books on Mylar and some other ones. That little bit of extra stretch helps the corners if something goes wrong in shipping too, if my packaging for some reason fails. Here we are, issue 85, Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing and Spider-Woman. Newsstand. The colors are really vibrant on all these issues. I have not found any. I've one issue that was really dirty. The rest of these are all looking really good. And the bulk of these are all in really good shape. Either no spine text at all, or maybe 1 or 2. I think it's fair to say that this whole collection's in pretty high grade. It's just kind of sad there's no real major keys that I'm finding. I don't know anything about the 2-in-1 books, though. I could be actually bagging and boarding minor key here and there, but I'm sure if there was a major key, somebody would have shouted in the chat already. The tedious hobby of bagging and boarding. Yeah, It's kind of cathartic though, right? Some people probably absolutely hate it. I'm fairly indifferent. I know it's got to get done. I'm just not a fan of all the major recycling that I'm going to have to do after this. We've got issue 86 here. Ooh, this is very cool. Nice little bar scene here. This live stream proves to Andy's wife once and for all that he can, in fact, go for hours. Just not in the way that she's hoping for. This will be the last book that I'll go over. This will be the last book. We get all the air out of this, and then we'll close out. We'll do a couple announcements, and we'll close out the show. That's my moments of flipping through. Yes. I'm learning a lot, too. Issue 86, The Thing in Sandman, newsstand edition, great little bar scene, them there hanging out, having a beer. Would you believe it's Miller time? Very cool. Very cool. Last issue, plus the return of the Impossible Man. That's me. Ron and Chick. Oh, boy. And it's not, you just don't see covers with people drinking and smoking on them anymore. You know? Very cool bar scene. That's been the Sunday No Agenda Hangout. Baggin and Boardin. Absolutely. DVA Mechanics, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for watching from the Twitch side of things. Absolutely. If you like comic books, please join this comic book collecting adventure and journey. Hit subscribe on Twitch. Hit subscribe on YouTube. Check me out on IG at Comic Man Andy. We do weekly videos, weekly hangouts, and we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So before I hit up the rest of this chat, that's the one quick announcement. Very soon here, I promise the Slabaganza giveaway email video will be coming soon. It'll be an easy to enter situation. We'll go over the rules, go over what we're giving away, and it's all going to be slabs. And then that journey to 1,000 subscribers will trigger the live stream community hangout where a bunch of people will get together and we'll give away these slabs on either the comment picker or a wheel. Stay tuned for that. Hit that notification bell so you know when we're dropping content. Speaking of dropping content, the Sunday Bagging and Boarding Hangout, I'll try to do every Sunday or at least every other Sunday when I can make the time because I've got to get this stuff bagged and boarded. Get rid of all these old bags and boards. Mail Call Monday live is tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, which I'm excited to do. I've got another Darth Vader 3 graded, CGC graded Dr. Aphra first appearance to unbox tomorrow. And I cannot wait to do a deep dive on that book with you guys, why I bought it, why I paid what I did for it, and why it's going to be an important part to my collection or important addition to my personal collection. So tomorrow is going to be a few AOKs from the community, and then that big book will be coming out, and we'll check that out. I cannot wait to get into that one because there's going to be a bit of a deep dive with Dr. Aphra and Darth Vader number 3. And Tuesday night, Simpleman's Comics Patreon group gets together, and we do the Comic News Weekly live stream on his channel. So I'll be preparing for that as well. And Wednesday, new comic book days coming up, just right around the corner. I cannot wait for some new books to read. And then that means Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, probably work to drop some micro content. So those of you that aren't available or don't have the time to sit and watch a full hour and a half long live stream, we'll drop that micro content so you guys can catch 5, 6, 7, 8 minute episodes of unboxing stuff and other cool stuff. Goat99, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Hey, Uncle Skeff. Speaking of Dr. Aphra, Uncle Skeff just did a really cool unboxing of some Dr. Aphra books, the first appearance back there. Check out his channel. If you're missing the Skeff's content, you're missing out entirely. He's got 2 great videos just out recently that you should check out. Sub him up and go say hi. Tell him Comic Man Andy sent you. ABZ, yes. Comics with Kids and multitask. Absolutely. Try to make it tomorrow. If you can't make it tomorrow, catch the live stream or catch the replay of that and hit that notification bell so you'll get notified when I drop the micro content for that, the 8, 9, 10 minute, the short content, the short clips, the micro content of those unboxings. The important part about those unboxings that I really like to share is how things get packaged and the shipping mistakes that sometimes happen. So off to have supper. Absolutely. Thanks for being here. Can't thank everybody enough for hanging out, recharging my comic collecting batteries. It's been a good time. So I look forward to seeing you all again next Sunday for the Baggin and Boardin hangout. You know how I do it, right? I'm going to go peace out. I'm going to go pinkies out. I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side for the next video or the next show. You know what? Most important part, all day, every day. Don't forget it. Cue it up.
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.
Excuse me while I change. The roller boogie has made me sweaty. Yeah, sweaty.
I love gold.
I have a package for you.